Cubs take it to the field against the Colorado Rockies. Today at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
The Leadoff Man, brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
Well, the Cubs are surging. They have won a season-high, tying 5 in a row, as some fans out on Addison paying homage to the great Harry Carey. And today, the Cubs look for their second straight sweep. They have their ace on the mound as they take on the Colorado Rockies. It's time for the Leadoff Man on WGN Sports. Hi again, everyone. I'm Len Casper. Welcome to the Leadoff Man. The Cubs in their best stretch of baseball here this season. They're going to try to sweep the Rockies today. Let's go back to last night. The Cubs continuing to get great offense. We didn't even know if we were going to play on time, but we started right on time. A lot of rain in the middle of the afternoon. The grounds crew did just an amazing job. And once we got going, the Cubs bats got it going. After Soriano got on base, Ramirez driving him in with a double out toward right. Then Cliff Lloyd, he's heating up. A long home run to the right field bleachers off Rodrigo Lopez. Just like that, the Cubs were up 3-0. The Rockies get on the board with a double play ball. Cubs gladly took 2 outs and gave up a run. That made it 3-1. As Ramirez with a 5-3 double play. In the third inning, Mike Fontenot continues his hot streak with a double, scoring, guess who? Soriano again. That made it 4-1 Cubs. But the Rockies would not go away early. Jamie Carroll had a big night, knocks in 2 with a double to cut the lead to 4-3. But the one thing the Cubs have done lately, they have added on. Mark DeRosa with a single. Fontenot coming around. And Coy Hill with a double to the gap out in left. Cliff Lloyd crossing the plate. Not too far behind is DeRosa. Then Felix Piet broke his bat, ended up with the singles. That ball got by Troy Tulowitzki. 8-3 Cubs at that point. The defense stellar again. DeRosa with one of the best plays of the year. Ted Lilly had that ball glance off his glove, but he recovered in time to get the out. And Alfonso Soriano with yet another outfield assist. Troy Tulowitzki, he's not even anywhere close to second base, so DeRosa could take his time before applying the tag, and it was a little shaky for a while late, but Will Oman coming on and getting Todd Helton a tying run at the plate to pop out. Oman with his first career save, a 5-game winning streak, 8-5 the final score, and today the Cubs look for their first 6-game winning streak since 2005. Again, Carlos Zambrano will get the call. We'll hear from his manager, Lou Piniella, when we come back on the Leadoff Man.
Spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
Now it's easy to sell your home fast with the No Commission Company. For sale by owner.com.
We sold our home in 3 weeks.
I had no idea it could be that easy. It really was.
We've helped thousands of people save millions of dollars. We give you lawn signs and a step-by-step guide. We even have advisors on call to answer any questions. Visit ForSaleByOwner.com now at ForSaleByOwner.com. ForSaleByOwner.com. No commission, lots of help.
Welcome back to the leadoff man right outside the Bud Light bleachers. You see the wind is howling straight out today. Could see a lot of long balls. Also, we understand going to see some rain probably at some point this afternoon, maybe 2 or 3 hours into the ball game. We'll see if Carlos Zambrano can be efficient, get some early support, and get out of here with a sweep with the off day tomorrow and Milwaukee coming in on Friday. We're going to hear from the Cubs manager now, Lou Piniella, on several topics, including Aramis Ramirez not in the lineup today, Carlos Zambrano on the hill today, and one of the big stories around this team, Jock Jones. There's been a lot of rumors about Jock possibly getting traded, but he remains a Chicago Cub. Let's hear from Lou Piniella.
I talked to him briefly today again, and he probably knows more what's going on than I do, because he's talked to Jim at length about it, and I haven't. But I told him we're going to use him. We're just not going to let him sit.
Is it difficult for him to shut that out after, he even heard yesterday he was traded?
I don't know how things like that get out.
Internet.
Is that what it is? I don't know, but I think you just put that behind you and play. We put a plan together for him where we give him rest from time to time. And this was part of it. DH the 3 White Sox games and play the first 2 games of the Colorado series and give him a day off. And with a day off tomorrow, I have like 2 days off going into the weekend. Carlos is really pitching well. And, he's really stepped it up here in the past, past 2 or 3 weeks. And he's throwing as well as any pitcher in the big leagues. We've got to go out and play well behind him and put some runs on the board and hope he continues to pitch the same way. Let's see if Zambrano gives us a good one today and gives us a lot of innings and we can swing the bat and score some runs. And then tomorrow we can get in much better shape with the day off.
Speaking of the pitchers, we'll talk about these 2 right-handers coming up. A couple of big guys on the mound today for their respective clubs.
Hey, my beer! Come here, you little varmint! You can run, but you can't hide! Oh, you think the tree's gonna save you? You furry freak! Come to Papa!
Fred?
Hey, neighbor.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Mike, let go! No, you don't! Yes, I do! Let go, Fred!
That's cold.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
When your in-home disasters become America's biggest laughter, we've got it all caught on tape. Every weeknight, you get all the hilarious moments of AFE. Even when things go extremely wrong, laughter makes it oh so right. It's the cranks, pranks, and all-out stupid maneuvers that make Monday nights a splash. Join Tom Bergeron as he brings you the ultimate in reality television.
Common sense is the enemy of comedy. My new motto, stop thinking, start taping.
It's a knockdown, flipped around good time. So when life gets a little crazy, remember to take some time to laugh. America's Funniest Home Videos. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN. It's great to be home.
I'm the dude. That or his dudeness or duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Are you employed, Mr. Lebowski?
Thursday at 8 Eastern.
Employed?
The pitching matchup, you have Carlos Zambrano, 6'5", 255. Right-hander Jason Hirsch, 6'8", 250. That's your tail of the tape. It'll be Zambrano for the Cubs and Hirsch for the Rockies. It's bat day from the friendly confines. We'll have Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports coming up next.
The leadoff man has been brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
And everywhere I go, there's always something to remind me of another place and time.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly home run contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs.
Just because I'm a foster kid doesn't mean I'm a lost cause.
I have the potential for greatness.
Some people have an attitude about me because my parents have problems.
I wish you could see me for who I am.
Don't be afraid of me.
And don't feel bad for me.
Just care what happens to us.
Dame una oportunidad.
If you can't be a foster parent, find another way to help foster children thrive.
Do something to help me make it.
Help make foster care better.
Just do something.
Don't write me off.
Don't write me off. Don't write me off.
Foster kids are our kids. This message brought to you by WGN TV and the Illinois Foster Care Agency in your community.
Don't try this at home. Leave it to the comedy professionals. Home Improvement weekdays.
Weekdays at 5:30. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
We are live from the corner of Clark and Addison. It is a hot and muggy late June afternoon as WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, presents Chicago Cubs baseball. And the Cubs are looking for back-to-back sweeps as they take on Matt Holliday and the Colorado Rockies. Could be an offensive afternoon. Wind blowing out. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. The Cubs are scoring runs, and they're winning 5 in a row now.
It's funny how that works. You score some early runs, you give your pitcher a little breathing room, and it's been a real good run the last 5 ball games for the Cubs. You see all these numbers. One number we do not have up there, only 2 defensive errors by the Cubs during the 5-game streak, and neither error cost them.
Cubs have really only been able to pick up 1 game on Milwaukee. The Brewers staying hot. They're playing Houston right now, and going into that series Friday, the worst the Cubs can be out is 8.5, the best 6.5.
Well, as Lou has said many times, they're not worried about the Brewers. They're just worried about their own ball club. Take care of business right here, and whatever happens, happens.
And if Carlos Zambrano can take care of business today, the Cubs will be within 1 of 500.
Well, if he continues to go about his business the way he has the last 4 starts, it bodes well for the Cubs today. Only 4 earned runs in his last 4 starts.
Jason Hirsch will get the start for the Rockies, and his last 2 times out, he hasn't gone very deep, and the Rockies need a good outing. They haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, Hirsch has not been able to get out of the 5th inning in his last 2 starts. This is a guy that struggles with his command from time to time.
Now our national anthem performed today by Wayne Messmer.
Oh, say can you
that so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran where the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Carlos Zambrano just 1-4 in his career against the Rockies, but he is red hot. The Cubs are too. The lineups and all the action are right around the corner.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Bud.TV, where entertainment is always on and only on www.bud.tv. Comcast. Catch more Cubs home games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4BEST-TV today. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
Just think about it. You get it.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Claire! I'm alive!
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Well, either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has a great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Planning on making this worth my while?
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
But today is Souvenir Bat Day. The first 5,000 children 13 and under received a Derek Lee souvenir bat. I thought his bat was a little bigger than that.
Looks like it on the field.
One of the great giveaways. Bat Day here at Wrigley Field. Today's Cubs broadcast on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, is presented in high definition, sponsored by Comcast, and brought to you in 5.1 Dolby Surround Sound. Now the Rockies starting lineup. They've lost a season high 5 in a row. The Cubs have won 5 straight, so we'll see what happens today. Going to load up with the lefties. That's a pretty good idea against Zambrano. We'll tell you why later. Sullivan, Matsui, Holiday at the top. Hilton, Atkins, and Hopp in the middle. Tulowitzki, Torrealba, and Hirsch at the bottom.
And here's how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind starter Carlos Zambrano. Brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. Alfonso Soriano has been an assist machine out there in left field in this series. Angel Pagan in center. Cliff Floyd over in right field once again today. DeRosa spelling Aramis Ramirez at third base. Terrio at short. Fontenot at second. Derek Lee at first base. Coy Hill will be doing the catching today for Big Z, Carlos Zambrano. It has been quite a run over his last 4 starts for Carlos Zambrano. Giving up a total of 13 hits in his last 4 starts.
So he's looking for his 9th victory of the year, and again just 1-4 against the Rockies, although a very good 3.14 earned run average. Get the umpires today. Dan Iasoni in his 6th year, born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, will call the balls and strikes. Dowdy, Culpa, Scott on the bases. And it's Corey Sullivan getting the start in center field. Looks at a fastball for a strike. 87 degrees. And the wind out of the west at 4. But I'm looking at the flags right now above the scoreboard. That's more than 4. Ever-changing conditions.
This is the kind of wind that will make a pitcher have some inflamed rotator cuff getting off the team bus. You see those flags blowing out like that, and the neck gets stiff, the elbow gets sore. Zambrano not sore at all starting this ball game with a punch out. Good to see Big Z get off to a good start. The most important thing for him is to establish that strike zone in the first inning of the ball game. If he struggles with his command early, the other team is likely to be patient and try to run up a pitch count. That is one concern over the last 4 starts by Zambrano, is the pitch count. A low of 113, a high of 128. Certainly he's a big guy. He's a horse. He can handle that kind of a pitch count. But if there are any concerns whatsoever, it might be that.
An addendum to the wind. Cubs Director of Media Relations Peter Chase added the wind's gusting up to 14. Nicely done, Peter. I think he looked out at center and thought 4 miles per hour. Let me get an update.
Somewhere in Chicago it's blowing 4 miles an hour. Not here at Wrigley.
You can go to WGNTV.com. Check out our weather bug with the latest. They are being delayed, I assume, by rain in Detroit, where the Rangers and Tigers trying to get things underway as Soriano comes over toward the bullpen area. Foul ground has it. And Matsui's gone. Well, again, here's why you try to load your lineup with lefties. Against right-handers this year, Carlos Zambrano has given up an OPS of 586. Against lefties, it's 922. The lefties have been immeasurably better against Zambrano. So their entire bench made up of right-handed hitters. Clint Hurdle went with Corey Sullivan instead of Willie Taveras, who's just 4 for 22 against Zambrano. Now when Carlos is hot, he gets everybody out, but looking at the numbers, you want to stack it with lefties.
To an extent, the left-handed batters kind of take away his slider a little bit. He will throw sliders to left-handers, but mostly he's just going to attack the lefties with his sinking fastball, cut a fastball in on him occasionally, and throw that splitter for an off-speed pitch.
Todd Helton on deck. The guy at the plate, Matt Holliday's gone 1 for 8 in the series. Helton 1 for 7. Holliday barely leading Derek Lee in the batting race. Holliday at 349.3 or .3493. Derek Lee at .3489. It's that close. Off the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch, and he walked it. So that'll bring up the guy who made the final out last night as he popped out against Will Omen.
I'm not sure where that one missed, possibly in. Didn't look like it was up, but Holliday takes the base on balls nonetheless.
And if you've been watching the last couple of days and you were coming out today, hopefully you made a note to be careful in the stands, because Todd Helton has hit some screamers foul. Inside.
Well, and I don't think Todd Helton's approach at the plate is going to change any today. And with Zambrano throwing hard like he usually does, we may see some more foul balls on that third base side. It's been a struggle for Helton over his last 4.
They have the lights on, but now a lot of sunshine. On this cloudy afternoon. 1-1. Catches a corner.
Good off-speed pitch right on the outside corner. You'll see Helton turns around after the called strike and asks Dan Iasonia if that was on the corner, was that on the white part of the plate, perhaps a little bit off the outside corner, just trying to establish where that zone is going to be today.
As a sign from Hill is going to slide out toward the outside corner again. Now, Bob, I noticed Coy Hill had his left foot just a little bit outside the catcher's box. So you're supposed to have your entire body in there. I know that line really isn't even there anymore.
I think it's kind of like the batter's box. As long as you're in contact with any part of that line, you're considered to be in the catcher's box.
Most umpires are going to kind of let you get away with that.
I was going to say, other than the time when they immediately changed the strike zone, they talked about narrowing the zone, making it more of a vertical zone as opposed to horizontal, and allowing pitchers to go off the corners. Other than the immediate time after that change, I don't see umpires ever telling catchers to get back in the box.
You see the back heel just on the line. And there's ball 4 again. That's back-to-back walks with 2 outs, and it'll bring up Garrett Atkins, the third baseman. And Zambrano now chatting with his catcher.
No question the walks are problematic. You hate to see those 2-out walks, and now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the first inning. But once again, the pitch count. You'd like to see Carlos be as efficient as possible in the early part of this ball game so he can work deeply into this game.
It will be at least a 20-pitch inning. Already has thrown 19. Here's the 20th. Inside. Little stare down there, and now Dan Iasonia took a step back around the catcher, and maybe a word for the Cubs dugout. Pulled the slider outside. Well, along those lines of what you were talking about, the off day tomorrow coming at a perfect time. The bullpen badly needs it. Fouled away. Also, Aramis Ramirez not in the lineup today. Essentially, will get 2 full days off. Possibly could see him as a pinch hitter later.
Well, most managers will do that with some of their regulars, the guys that play pretty much every inning of every ball game. If you're going to give them an off day, you try to couple it with a scheduled off day so that in effect they have 2 days completely off.
2-2. That was a fastball. Count holding. Hop is on deck. No hits, but 2 walks.
Going to have some quick pitch innings somewhere in the very near future for Carlos Zambrano, if indeed he wants to work deep into this ball game.
Well, at least 8 innings his last 3 starts. 3-2.
Dime-sized strike zone today for Dan Iasonia back there behind the plate. Carlos has been all around it. This is a slider. It appeared to be a slider that didn't break as much as he hoped for. Probably off the plate inside, but a lot of borderline pitches not going Carlos's way early.
There go the runners, and it's popped up. Fontenot the catch, and the Rockies done. They do not get a run. They lead 2. The Cubs are coming up against tall right-hander Jason Hirsch.
Make it easy for yourself. With Southwest Airlines, you can fly nonstop from Chicago Midway to Long Island MacArthur for just $39 one way with a 7-day advance purchase.
You are now free to move about the country.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
They spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Now Lou Pinella's Cubs lineup for today's game against the Rockies, brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. Soriano and Fontenot both with 9-game hitting streaks. Lee, Floyd, Angel Pagan out in center. Mark DeRosa back at the hot corner today. Coy Hill catching. Ryan Theriot at short. And Carlos Zambrano does the pitching.
Take a look at the Rockies defensively. Matt Holliday in left, Corey Sullivan in center, Brad Hopp over in right field, Atkins and Tulowitzki on the left side of the infield. Kaz Matsui made his first error of the season the other night in the 9th inning, opening the floodgates for the Cubs to come back and win that ball game. Todd Helton over at first base. Yorvik Torrealba behind home plate. And the big right-hander Jason Hirsch on the mound. His last 2 starts, total of 8 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 11 hits and 10 runs.
His first pitch swung on and missed by Soriano. Last night, the 6th consecutive game for the Rockies without a quality start. And they've lost their last 5. Top 2 hitters in the Cubs lineup over the last 9 games combined. 31 hits. That would be games in which those 2 guys participated, each with a 9-gamer.
We talk a lot about the advanced scouting report and the video work that the hitters do before a game looking at an opposing pitcher, but today they got the best possible scouting report from personal experience.
High drive by Soriano, not deep. Center fielder Sullivan puts it away.
The Rockies have played the Padres twice already this year, and both times Rob Bowen had a real good look at Jason Hirsch. He was telling his teammates in the clubhouse today what to expect. Said that Jason Hirsch likes to throw the changeup on 3-2 counts. He likes to throw backdoor breaking balls to the left-handed hitters. Those are the best kind of reports when you get them from an eyewitness who was in the batter's box looking at those pitches.
Here's Fontenot, the left-handed hitter. He takes ball 1. Atkins plays in at third against Fontenot. Missed again on a heater, 2-0. On Friday in Toronto, Jason Hirsch was pulled by Clint Hurdle in the 5th inning with 1 out and the bases loaded, and the Rockies up 3 runs. And it was an example of how things have changed with this team. We talked about Clint Hurdle last night. They're not in that, quote, let's see how this young pitcher handles this situation mode, or we want to give this kid a chance for a win. They're all about, we need to win, and if I have to take him out, so be it. That's what happened. Two is popped up by Fontenot near short. Tulowitzki shading his eyes, and he dropped it, and Fontenot's on. Never even got a glove on it, actually. Tulowitzki lost it in the sun. It's a hit. When things are going well for you, those things happen, and Mike Fontenot now 7 for 10 in the series.
But Tulowitzki gave no indication that he had lost that ball in the sun. Usually an infielder will wave his arms or ask for help from the other infielder, but Tulowitzki just continued to battle that sun. Never lets Kaz Matsui, a second baseman, know that he can't find that ball, and it dropped safely.
So the no-hit bid by Jason Hirsch broken up. The second batter of the 1st inning. And a 10-game hitting streak for Fontenot. You think Joe DiMaggio had one like that?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Well, in the box score, it'll look like a rocket hit to left center. No sunglasses, no eye black for Mike Fontenot. I'll tell you, it's really bright right now. Not so much when the first pitch was thrown, but the sun's shining. That ball got by the catcher, rattling around back of the plate. And Fontenot at second base.
I'm assuming that's going to be ruled a wild pitch. That is a real wild pitch. 4th of the year for Jason Hirsch from our RoboCam. Not only does it get away from Torrey All, but rattles around the bricks behind home plate, ends up over in the Cubs on deck circle on the 3rd base side.
4th wild pitch of the year for Hirsch. With Floyd on deck.
And we've seen Derek Lee swing away on 3-0 counts a lot more this year already than he did all of last season. He kind of picks his spots against certain pitchers that he believes are going to lay a fastball in there for him on the 3-0 count. See if he's hacking at this one.
Takes the walk. I was going to ask you about that. The conditions have changed. The lights are on right now because when we started, it was very overcast. But some guys may go grab their sunglasses in between innings. You might see some eye black where none existed about 15 minutes ago.
What's that old saying about walking the barn door after the horses ran away? A little late for the shades now, Troy.
Swing and a miss, strike one. Floyd 1 for 1 in the ball game last night. He was walked intentionally twice. The hit was a home run. He scored twice. Flared left field, but Holiday will get there. Fontenot halfway between second and third. The throw's going to go back behind him, and Colton backing it up.
Well, you mentioned the intentional walks to Cliff Floyd in his second and third at bat of the ball game. The reason for that was his first at bat of the ball game. Got a fastball up and out over the plate, came out of his shoes, hitting a line drive into the bleachers in right field for his 4th home run of the season.
They were extremely cautious against him the rest of the night. He was removed in the 7th for Angel Pagano pinch hit, and that went into play right. Angel went 0 for 1. Fastball strike at 92. Milwaukee leading Houston 2-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. It's Woody Williams against Jeff Suppan. The Rockies and Astros will open up a series tomorrow night in Houston. The Brewers off, so are the Cubs. Big 3-gamer starting here, and we'll have it for you on WGN Sports Friday and Sunday, games 1 and 3. And it's not been a good start to this trip. The Rockies are 0 and 5. Back to the pitcher, little bobble, no problem for Hirsch. So each team getting a couple of first inning base runners, but scoring 0.
Again. Get back that feeling with breakfast anytime you want with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
TV Guide gives it 3 stars.
Don't tell somebody else you're going to string me up. Tell me.
A powerful story of a proud, uncompromising man. A memorable tribute. A moving, enlightening portrait of a forgotten hero. A powerhouse performance by James Earl Jones.
Hey, boy. Colored section's 1 row back. Colored section starts right here.
The Vernon John story.
Saturday at 3 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
On the next Scrubs, medicine is a serious sport. And when old rivals meet,
Dr. Cox,
you don't want to get in the middle.
Get ready.
Jay Moore guest stars.
Touchdown!
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern.
Zambrano struggled a bit with his command, although he missed on a couple of close pitches in the first inning. Able to get out of it with no damage done. The 27th pitch of his afternoon is hit foul pretty hard by Brad Hawk. One and 1 the count. You have Hop at the plate right now on defense. Fontenot at second, Terrio at short. They were all LSU Tigers at one time. Long run for Soriano, and he makes the catch. If it had dropped, it would have been fair, and likely would have been a 2-base hit.
Long run for Soriano, playing deep and a little bit toward left center for Brad Hop, a left-handed hitter. Soriano on a dead sprint. You saw him take that one last peek to make sure he knew exactly where that bullpen mound was. He saw he had a clean path to go ahead and charge that ball and made a nice running catch.
Speaking of LSU, we got a nice email from Jeff Arbor who says, "Go Cubs, G-E-A-U-X." One and two. Troy Tulowitzki. Where's number 2 in honor of Derek Jeter, his favorite player? Got to meet him last week. Seems his teammates exploited his fondness for Mr. Clutch. They forced him to buy some bottles of Jeter's cologne, Driven. And then some of the Rockies actually wore it during the first game of their series against the Yankees. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout for Zambrano.
Any perceived weakness whatsoever, and your teammates will exploit it. Good fastball up and out over the plate from Zambrano. Blows it right by Tulowitzki. He's proven in this series, to me, he's a real good low ball hitter from our Southwest RoboCam. Carlos elevates that fastball just enough to get it over the bat.
Well, even though he couldn't find that pop-up that dropped for what was called a hit, he can play defense. He turned at the end of April, the 29th of that month against Atlanta, the 13th unassisted triple play in history. Chipper Jones lined out with both runners going from first and second on a 3-2. So Tulowitzki doubled off Kelly Johnson by stepping on second. Then he tagged Edgar Renteria for the third out. Any way to get WG in there, we like that.
Well, if there are any Clarks out there, we know a dad that's looking to marry off his daughter to a guy named Clark.
Yeah, I saw that triple play, the highlight of it, and Tulowitzki ended up firing it to Todd Helton. He flipped the ball into the stands. They were able to get it back because it was a local radio host in Denver. Well, you got to get that baseball.
You figured, oh, here's a loser, you know, a deadbeat.
Well, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
You cannot drag this negative energy into the tournament.
Jeffrey.
Bond?
Love me.
That's my robe.
I'm throwing rocks tonight.
It don't matter to Jesus.
Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old-world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar, in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
The new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundae at Dairy Queen with creamy DQ soft serve, pecans, and... Wait, is it pecans or pecans? Pecans? Okay. Pecans and gooey caramel. Or is it caramel? Do one.
Next 24. Bioterrorists manufacture a deadly new disease.
If we don't stop this virus, the world as we know it will change forever.
And Jack's moves to stop it make him a suspect.
I didn't know whether to save you or kill you. I expected you to follow my orders.
Now, an old enemy unleashes a virus of her own.
Your entire anti-terrorist computer network is jammed.
We need that kill code.
Exposing Jack's identity to the terrorists.
What have you done?
Next 24. Saturday night at 11:30 on WGN. Becker, late nights on Superstation WGN.
Let's meet today's celebrity bat kids, brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. 13-year-old Sarah Kravietz from Niles and Adam Rockman, 11, from Elgin. Having a great day at Wrigley thanks to our friends at Walgreens. For information and official rules of the Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids Sweepstakes, go to WGNradio.com. Flags are waving just like the Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids.
Although the flags continue to wave while Adam kind of ran out of gas there on his parade wave.
Bottom of the second. Mark DeRosa playing third base. Ramos Ramirez on the bench to start it. But that was the plan after he came off the disabled list. In the air to center. Well hit. Sullivan back, and it's going to be over his head. DeRosa's going to stop at second base with a double. The way Sullivan gave up on that ball, I thought it might get out.
I think Sullivan realized he wasn't going to be able to make a play on that ball, so he pulled up short of the wall just in case the ball hit the vines and bounced back toward him. With the wind blowing out the way it is today, every ball hit in the air has a chance. Sullivan right there gives up on it, waiting to play the carom off the wall, but by the time it comes back to the infield, DeRosa's at second base. Move him. Cubs have been doing a real nice job of playing fundamentally sound baseball. When they do get runners on second base, nobody out, a situation just like this, find a way to get him to third base.
Hill had a 2-run double in game 2. Getting the start again today with Carlos Zambrano. They've been good together. I was talking about the cross-up with Ted Lilly. He was expecting a curveball and got a fastball. Slide step in the pitch. Popped up back of third base. It's the shortstop Tulowitzki over to make the catch. He said it's a little bit easier if you get crossed up with Carlos Zambrano because all of his pitches move so much. The slider's a little closer to his fastball than Ted Lilly's curveball to his heater. Time now to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. The 2000 College World Series champions, the LSU Tigers. Hop, Fontenot, and Terrio all in the team picture. The College World Series MVP was Hop. He hit a home run off USC's Mark Pryor to help the Tigers into the semifinals.
He must have ran out of hats. Ryan Terrio was still wearing his purple Tigers game hat right there. That's what happens when you're the smallest guy on the team. All the big guys grab the commemorative hats. Ryan got left out.
He was named to the all-tournament team in the College World Series that year. Fontenot played second. Terrio short. Hop played first.
You see Terrio's got the purple hat, everybody else wearing the white hats, with the exception of the far upper right corner. Skip Bertman, the head coach of the LSU Tigers, has done such a great job with that program for a long time.
Another one gets past Torrealba. The second in 2 innings. DeRosa came flying around third base and almost appeared to grab Garrett Atkins, the Rockies' third baseman. We almost had another obstruction.
No obstruction called this time, however. Wow, that's a second wild pitch, almost identical from our Southwest RoboCam. Gets by Torrealba to the right. He runs to his left. He knows where that ball's going to end up. He's already seen one of those today. DeRosa rounds third base hard. Atkins right there. He kind of used Atkins to help gather himself and regain his balance.
Infield drawn in. That runner at third. The 2-1 to Terrio. Hit foul. There's an article in the Tribune the other day about this playing surface. And it's a challenge to come flying around third base because of the crown of the field. You end up running downhill.
And you really see it at the older stadiums. Yankee Stadium is crowned very severely, as is Fenway Park in Boston, Wrigley Field. Some of the older ballparks still have that severe crown to allow the water to drain away from the playing field. A lot of the newer ballparks have the high-tech drainage systems underneath, so it's not as important that they crown the field. But this is where it's especially tough when you're rounding first or third. You come around the bag at third and suddenly realize you're running downhill. It's a little tougher to stop and get back to the bag if necessary.
I think you're right. DeRosa felt like he was going to fall down and started to brace himself. 3-2 pitch. Into center, base hit. An RBI single for Terrio, and the Cubs lead 1-0. So they didn't score in the first, but getting a run here in the second. Early runs always at a premium, and the Cubs have been very good at it lately.
Boy, a lot of times you like to see just a contact hitter at the plate with that guy on base. Less than 2 outs. Ontario not the kind of hitter that's going to hump up and try to hit the ball out of the ballpark in that situation. He's just going to try to make contact and put the ball in play, which is exactly what he does.
The switch hitting Carlos Zambrano, strike one.
No sign of a bunt on that first pitch. I believe with the wind blowing out today, Lou has decided he's going to let Big Carlos swing the bat.
And that's what he just did. You know, at the crown of the field, the bullpen mounds, the bump goes into fair territory. And they get in the corners, right up against the wall. You have the ivy. It's not just the weather conditions that make this park very unique, and it's a challenge to get used to playing here every day, but you know, you want to make that your home field advantage.
You know, one of the things we used to go over on our advance report when I played with the Giants and later managed the Diamondbacks, as a hitter, when you get a base hit and run to first base and go to round the bag, it's exactly the opposite as third base. You end up running uphill, and so many times you'll see players come in here from visiting teams, get a base hit to the outfield, run down to first base, and trip. Because those last couple steps as you're turning around first base there, as you go off the grass, you're running uphill ever so slightly, but it's enough to throw you off balance, and it's not unusual to see visiting players trip as they round first base.
Zambrano strikes out, the first for Hirsch, and Soriano will bat.
We know how much Carlos likes to hit and run the bases, but I think in a lot of respects that's a blessing in disguise when you can keep Carlos off the bases early in the ball game.
Cubs have all the hits to this point, 3 of them, 2 in this inning. Terrio's on the moves, and it's bobbled by Torrealba. Torrealba's been pretty good, throwing out 8 of 23 before that stolen base, now 8 of 24. Couldn't get the handle on it, didn't make a throw.
Torrealba generally very quick, strong throwing arm. That time just tries to step into a breaking ball and throw to second without any crow hop whatsoever. Just loses the ball on the exchange between the glove and the bare hand.
Kick and the pitch. Going inside. Hirsch facing the Cubs for the first time. So the Astros on the board. About an hour and a half north of where we are right now. 2-1 Milwaukee. to right. This one could drop down. Foul. Pretty close.
We talked before about Soriano and how on his best swing, the barrel of the bat is always way below his hands. The bat comes through the strike zone at a very exaggerated tilt. And occasionally when he mishits a ball like that, when he'll hit that little squirrel down the right field line that drops for extra bases, that time, unfortunately, just a little bit foul.
Ready for a 1-2. Smack foul into the Cubs pen. Jason Hirsch needs a pretty good outing here. Been fairly inconsistent, trying to remain in the Rockies rotation. This is his 16th start. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Soriano. Ryan Theriot giving the Cubs the lead with the RBI single. There he is with his double play partner.
Get into some serious monkey business. Funniest pets and people. Tuesday night on Superstation WGN.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet. Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Claire! I'm alive!
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Well, either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has a great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Plan on making it worth my while.
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
Becker's flying high.
Oopsie, you took a Valium.
This big.
On the next Becker.
A cloud, it looks like a duck.
Tonight at 9 Eastern.
Cubs 1, Rockies nothing as we get underway in the 3rd inning. It'll be Jason Hirsch, the pitcher, then back to the top, Sullivan and Matsui. It's great to have with us Subway spokesperson Jared Fogle. You've seen the commercials, and Jared, you're in town encouraging Chicagoans of all ages to eat healthy and exercise.
We are, part of a nationwide tour, I guess you want to call it that, where I've been traveling, almost for the last 8 years now, all over the country. I'm still based in Indianapolis, Indiana, but just trying to get that word out there about eating healthy, making good decisions, and especially with kids these days, trying to really influence kids in a positive way.
Yeah, that's right. You're a Midwesterner.
I am. Born and raised here. Grew up sort of a half Cincinnati Reds fan, half Chicago Cubs fan. So my family is sort of split down the middle. Obviously not having a major league team in Indy, but been to Wrigley Field many, many times. Love it out here. Obviously a great day. Hopefully the rain will hold off today.
Yeah, that's what we hope. Sun shining right now. Caught by DeRosa as he robs Jason Hirsch. DeRosa, he moves all over the diamond, Bob, and he continues to make plays.
Yeah, we talked about it last night, Len. He's that rare utility player. No matter where you put him on the field, he looks like a natural. On this play, looks like a natural third baseman. The same thing at second base, right field. Makes no difference to Mark DeRosa. Great instinctive ball player.
And it's Corey Sullivan to bat. The leadoff hitter struck out swinging his first time. Now, I would assume you get recognized a lot, right? Walking around the ballpark,
I
people
do.
know who you are.
Yeah, coming in sort of created a little bit of a zoo scene down at the gates today, I think, and hopefully everybody calmed down a little bit. But it's fun, it's crazy. You know, obviously, you know, I'm in people's living rooms almost every night. It seems like some way.
There's a base hit into left. That's the first one for the Rockies. Runner on with one out.
I think it's a neat feeling. People are, you know, react in a positive way usually. They're very excited, and I think people relate to it, and they say, you know, if that Jared guy can lose 245 pounds in a year eating Subway sandwiches, of course I can lose my own 10 or 20 pounds or 50 pounds or whatever it is they want to lose. So, you know, it's sort of, as I said, it's a position I never thought I'd be in. You know, I'm just a little kid from Indiana. I mean, what do I know? But it's been a great 8 years. Got to do a lot of great things, and I'm a huge sports fan. So you can imagine how much what a thrill this is for me to be here today.
Well, that's great. It's Matsui, the switch hitter. Sullivan, the runner at first. Well, could you just give us kind of your daily regimen and what you normally like to do?
Yeah, well, you know, as I said, usually when I'm, as far as when I'm in a city, you know, we're typically doing the morning media rounds, morning TV, morning radio. Of course, I'd like to visit schools. Usually when I'm in an area, we've already visited a school today, talking to some of the kids about healthy eating habits, obviously. In the summer, it's a little more of a challenge because the schools are out a lot of times, but we found when it was still in session. You know, it's great to, obviously, the kids react really positively to it, and you know, it's a great job. I just get to be myself and hopefully inspire others. And you know, I'm not an actor or a musician or a sports athlete or anything like that. I'm just, you know, Jared. And so far, so good, and I think people can really relate to it.
Yeah, it's been a very effective campaign, and we see all the time a 1-1 pitch and a check swing.
It's been pretty. Subway's now one of the big sponsors of the Little League World Series. And I just found out I'm going to get to go and throw out a couple of the first pitches this coming year in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. So real excited to obviously, you know, be a partner in that area and try to get kids onto baseball early. And it's a team sport and get them active and get them energized and whatnot. So real excited to be doing that this August as well.
Quick throw to first. Well, Jared, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it very much. And again, for everybody out there, eat healthy and exercise.
Absolutely.
Those are the 2 number 1 things you can do to help your health, right?
Very true, very true.
Hey, thanks so much,
Jared.
Jared.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Appreciate it. Jared Fogle.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
These came flying over the back there, Len.
Yeah.
Wow.
What size? 60. 60-inch waist. Now, what are you now? A 34. Wow. I'm a 34. 60 to 34. Wow. It's fantastic. Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it. Swing and a miss. 2 outs in the inning. That's amazing. 60 to 34.
Elevated fastball from Zambrano gets the swinging strike from Matsui. That was some kind of a tarp to put over the equipment here in the event of rain, but it turns out it was Jared's old pants. Yeah. Wow, what a job.
Sharply hit on the ground, right to Terrio, takes him to second base for the 3rd out.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
So what are we in the mood for? I'll know it when I see it. Okay, well, I think I just did.
New 5-cheese tortelloni with shrimp, stuffed pastas with Italian cheeses and a garlic seafood sauce, or tortelloni with sausage starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
On the next Scrubs, medicine is a serious sport. And when old rivals meet,
Dr. Cox,
it's ugly.
If you're smart,
You'll stay away from him.
It's nasty.
Pass me the remote, buddy.
And you don't want to get in the middle.
Get ready.
Jay Moore guest stars.
Touchdown!
Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11:30 Eastern.
Caution, professional tool man at work. He's fully trained to handle dangerous situations. Like 3 kids, 1 wife, and Al. Remember, don't try this at home. Home Improvement, weekdays.
Weekdays at 5:30 on Superstation WGN. Lizzie McGuire, Sunday at 11, only on Superstation WGN.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, is brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
So the bottom of the third, Fontenot, Lee, and Floyd against Jason Hurst. The Cubs lead 1-0. Mike credited with a single on a pop-up to short that Tulowitzki lost in the sun. The wind and the 1-0. It's high. 2 balls, no strikes. Seems like every time the Cubs are playing well, they're getting all kinds of production out of the top 2 guys in the order, right in front of Derek Lee.
Well, ideally, that's why you put the lineup together the way you do. You put a couple guys at the top that you feel can get on base, make some things happen. Of course, we know Soriano's not your prototypical leadoff hitter, but Fontenot, a guy that'll see a lot of pitches. He'll take his base on balls, a very lightning quick swing if you do happen to throw a pitch in the strike zone, and those guys have been setting the table nicely for the guys in the middle.
Well, for me, the numbers, Dork. Soriano's getting on base at a 357 clip. Now that'll do it for a leadoff hitter. You know, his average coming in 309, but he's walked just enough to make that on-base percentage solid for that leadoff hitter. What you don't want is to see it around the 320s. Lifted in the air. Sullivan was playing that toward the other gap, and he dives and makes a catch. That was a long run for Sullivan. He was over in left center, ended up in right center to make the catch.
We saw Soriano with a long run from his position to catch a ball in foul territory down the left field line. This time Sullivan coming from left center all the way over to shallow right center to make this diving catch on Mike Fontenot. Nice play.
Rockies are known for their defense. Just 28 errors, fewest in the league. Hey, happy birthday to the Cubs' #1 pinch hitter, Darrell Ward, 32 years old. And at some point, we'll likely see some starts because Derek Lee will have to serve a suspension. He is going to appeal his 5-game suspension. Derek will have to miss a handful of games at some point. Also want to wish a happy birthday and a speedy recovery to Jeff Milstein.
Second and bat in a row that Derek Lee's had himself in a real good hitter's count. 3-0 his first at bat. 3-1 here.
The pitch. And he takes his second walk. Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to check in on our baseball blog up on WGNTV.com. I have a post today about the Wrigley Field scoreboard. We talked about it last night. Game notes. Also, great T-shirts from Sam Walker up there on the blog. All on WGNTV.com. Click on the link for Len and Bob's blog. Get a chance. You want a great baseball book, The Summer Fantasy Land. That's a fun one. Have you ever played fantasy baseball, rotisserie baseball?
I am a consultant to a general manager in a fantasy league. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like the special assistant. I played a lot of tabletop baseball as a kid. I played Sherco baseball. I played Stratomatic basketball and hockey. All the different stadium charts and everything.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
I think you'd have a hard time interesting kids nowadays in Stratomatic baseball. With all the video games and the fast action, great graphics. Sitting around a card table playing a game of Stratomatic as long as it takes to play one of those games might be hard to interest them in that.
Runner at first, one out. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I played out the entire 1987 San Francisco Giants season on the tabletop baseball game. And for some reason, I have lost the game, but I actually typed out on a typewriter the season stats. So somewhere I have Bob Brenly's stats for the 1987 season, the season that I played out, not your actual stats.
Well, I'm sure I had a good year.
Oh, yeah, you had a really good year. I think in the end, because I tried to update the ratings every week or so, I was like within 1 or 2 wins of your actual season. So.
Why the Giants? Why?
I don't know why. I just, for whatever reason, picked the Giants. I was a Roger Craig fan when he became the manager of your ball club, and I grew up rooting for the Tigers. But I watched the Tigers a lot on TV, and I just picked a team that I didn't see a lot. So
there you go.
And what I actually tried to do, this is really funny. I would be up late, so I would try to start the game at around 10:35 or 10:05, depending on what the actual game time was, because I was in the Eastern time zone. I mean, I would write down an attendance. There were a Thursday afternoon against the Dodgers. I'd try to predict what the attendance would be. Cliff Floyd walks, back-to-back 3 passes. Of course, in my head, I announced the game too. Brenly is swinging a drive.
He's way back. Yeah, it's funny. You hear from fans all the time that you either play the tabletop games or the video games. And after my season in '84, I had my best year, my career year in '84, and the video games that came out in '85. Apparently was a pretty strong player in some of those video games in '85, and I have fans come up to me all the time. Oh man, I pick you all the time when we have a draft. I use you on my team, and you always come up with big hits. All my former managers say, yeah, where was that when we needed it?
Well, I really hope there are a lot of youngsters out there who get into the tabletop baseball. It was one of the things that was a huge deal for me. It really got me more into the game. I'll tell you one thing, Bob, it helped me learn how to score.
Yeah. Great educational tool. Now, we used to play the tabletop basketball game. Basket, B-A-S-K-E-T, with a hyphen in the middle there. Had a little ping pong ball, and we used to name all the different positions on the court, different players, and keep stats and all that stuff, as well as the tabletop hockey, with the metal rods and the guys spin around. We used to play a lot of that as well, but I didn't have the patience for doing the Stratomatic for very long. I'd rather be outside playing baseball.
That's right. Well, I did a lot of that too. 2 strikes on Pagan, 2 on, no hits in the inning. A very patient inning. Check swing, and it was outside the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hirsch has a sign from Torrealba. A couple of wild pitches already for Hirsch. Low and away, 2-2. Phil Velasquez, photographer, getting a little relief. Steve Green, Cubs team photographer down there as well. Going with the Cubs cap.
Oh, Steve's always cool. I always thought that was a job that would really be a lot of fun. You know, being a team photographer for a major league ball club or a football team or a basketball team. And not only you get to go to the event every day, but take pictures of a great venue like Wrigley Field and all the things that go on here.
Angel Pagan very rarely gets that animated. Did not like that call by Dan Iasonia.
That may be the first time we've seen Angel Pagan complain about any called strikes this year. Breaking ball, it looked like it never quite got back to the corner and probably was high when across the front of home plate as well. And Iasonia's having a rough day back there behind the dish today.
We saw Angel disappear briefly into the tunnel. Do a lot of guys just go right back, look at the video?
Oh, yeah. And that's the last thing an umpire wants to hear. You know, the guy runs up to the clubhouse, checks it out on videotape, and comes right back out to the bench. I took a look at it. That pitch was at least a half a foot outside. Umpires don't like to hear that. Or close plays on the bases. As a manager, I used to come out and argue, and I would stand out there long enough until they showed a replay on the in-house televisions, and you could hear the reaction of the crowd at the ballpark. And then you say, see, they don't want to hear that either. 40,000 people just saw the replay, and you missed it.
Well, I'm sure Ed Cohen in the Cubs video room has it all queued up and ready to go if anybody wants to look at it in that clubhouse. Don't have to worry about the big jumbotron here. Old school. That's the way we like it. The 2-1 pitch. Driven deep left center. And it will go. A home run. That's a 3-run shot. A big day already for DeRosa. A double and a home run. Now he's hitting like a third baseman.
It appeared to be an off-speed pitch. DeRosa looked like his weight shifted forward a little bit, but he kept his hands back really well and drove the bat through the hitting zone. Got it up into the wind. Our Southwest, how far did it fly? 372 feet. Nice going, Mark DeRosa.
Taking advantage of those walks. Just like that, it's 4-0. The base is cleared, and 2-0, making it 3-0 now as Hirsch can't find the strike zone against Coy Hill. The next pitch. 4 straight bad ones. 3rd walk of the inning.
Well, even Coy Hill made a concession to the heat and humidity here today. He's wearing these shorter sleeves. We talked about it a few games ago. He got in the habit of wearing the long sleeves after suffering an elbow injury. Felt it kept his throwing arm a little warmer out there, but even Coy goes to the shorter sleeves on a day like this.
Bob Apodaca, their pitching coach, out chatting with Hirsch. And even rolling him up a little bit. I guess he was trying to be coy about it, but you caught him. Ooh. The Astros have tied it 2-2 in Milwaukee. Terrio gave the Cubs the lead with an RBI hit in the second. Fly ball to right. Hop is over. And he puts it away. 3-run shot by Mark DeRosa. Another big 2-out knock on this homestand, and it's 4-zip Cubs.
Flying to the Washington area for business? If these 15 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Baltimore, Washington, and Washington Dulles International, maybe this will. Unlike other airlines, our low fares don't have hidden fees.
You are now free to move about the country.
Charlie, Henry, wake up. What's wrong? You're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting.
Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad. Text IM, Pix, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
Watch Funniest Pets and People and get your groove on. Kick up your heels. Maybe do-si-do or do-si don't. Watch people and their pets get funky. It's so funny, it'll bring you to your knees. Boogie Down with Funniest Pets and People. Weeknights at 6:30, only on Superstation WGN.
A powerhouse performance by James Earl Jones. A moving, enlightening portrait of a forgotten hero. The Vernon John story.
Saturday at 3 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
This Saturday is 7-11 Day at Wrigley Field. Don't miss any of the action as the Cubs entertain the Milwaukee Brewers at 2:55. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Cubs commemorative medallion. Compliments of 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven. Well, Big Z with a 4-0 lead as the Cubs try for back-to-back sweeps. DeRosa with a 3-run shot. Last time they swept consecutive series, April of 04. Swept a 2-gamer in Pittsburgh and then came home and took all 3 against the Mets, so it's been a while. 0-2 to Hilton. Jammed him and he fouled it off. Well, I did not see the highlight, but I read about it. Michael Barrett with a big defensive play for the Padres in their 10-inning win at San Francisco last night. They won 3-2, and the game ended as Barrett nailed Dave Roberts trying to steal second base.
Well, nice going, Michael.
Starting play today, the Dodgers with a half-game lead over the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Rockies a full 6 games out in 4th. Roll past Lee, and Derek gets back to first base as Fontenot makes the play. Hey, Cub fans, have you checked out this week's Cubs baseball podcast on WGNTV.com? We taped this week's Broom in Hand following Sunday's sweep of the White Sox. You can check it out anytime on WGNTV.com. Click on the link for the podcast, download, and enjoy. Perpetual construction.
I think that's the exercise room they're building right now, with the sauna and the jacuzzi and all the state-of-the-art weight equipment, so we can stay in top podcasting form.
These guys are working hard today.
Get off me, ball. Sinker running up and into Garrett Atkins. He kind of started his swing, wanted to check. I think the ball actually sought out his bat that time.
It's a slow pitch, and I don't think it registered on any radar gun.
Carlos do that a couple times in this ball game. Take a lot off of that breaking pitch, just kind of roll it up there. As hard as he throws, invariably you're going to catch that hitter off balance. He's got to gear up for a mid-90s sinking fastball.
Called strike 3. A lot of sinkers in that at bat. With Jarrett up here earlier, I guess we could call that the Atkins diet in that at bat.
Pitch right on the inside corner from Carlos Zambrano from our RoboCam. You see strike 3 on Atkins.
Hearing groaning all over the country.
Yes, indeed.
Five strikeouts for Zambrano against 2 walks. Swing and miss by Brad Hopp.
I was wondering if there might not be an ulterior motive from bringing Jarrett up to the booth today. I mean, obviously, you don't have any problems with your diet. You eat very healthy, take care of yourself. And Jarrett was eyeballing me kind of funny.
Like, Bob, we need to talk?
Yeah.
No, you stay in good shape. You walk a lot. That's what Jarrett does. That's his exercise. Just go up and down the ramps here a few times this week.
Yeah, no kidding.
So a member of the Rockies traveling party. A lot of times you'll get here 4 or 5 hours before the game, and guys will be jogging around the warning track. Well, that was not possible unless you wanted to swim yesterday, and they were running the concourse. Zambrano strikes out Hopp. 2 in the inning, 6 on the day. In command throughout. It's 4-zip Cubs.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
I can feel a change a-coming, start anew. Change, a change will do you good.
Michelob Light, crafted with noble European aroma hops. For a full-flavored light beer as distinctive as the bottle itself. Michelob Light, distinct by design.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong, like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
Come fall in love with New Orleans all over again.
There's no place like it.
Music comes bubbling right up from the street. Come for the party!
Come feel good.
Everybody loves the French Quarter.
Come for the
The food.
Come for it all.
Come fall in love with New Orleans all over again.
Call now or visit NewOrleansOnline.com to order your free guide and get great hotel rates starting at $79.
Hey, music fans, the Goo Goo Dolls will be at the Charter One Pavilion on Northerly Island on August 23rd, part of the Bud Light Concert Series. Lifehouse takes the stage prior to Johnny Resnick and the Boys. Tickets are on sale now. Go check out two great bands. To get tickets, visit livenation.com or call Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212. Bud Light and live music, always worth it.
A lot of angst in that tune as Carlos Zambrano gets set for the bottom of the fourth. Cubs got one in the second, three more in the third inning on one swing. Mark DeRosa with a three-run homer. Jason Hirsch, second-round pick of the Astros out of California Lutheran University in 2003. Oh, big cut by Zambrano. He's a second alum of California Lutheran to play in the big leagues. Right-hander Kevin Gross was the first. He was born in Santa Monica, California. And in the offseason, Jason Hirsch has served as a runner for, you talked about being a photographer. Well, he's been a runner for photographers at San Diego Chargers home games. So if you ever have an interest in doing something like that, maybe the Bears can hook you up.
I don't know. It'd be easy to mistake Hirsch for a tight end.
The ball hit the dirt. Is that? Yep, that's what the home plate umpire is saying. And was not, therefore, a foul tip.
Yorvit Torrealba looks like he doesn't believe it. Off-speed pitch down in the zone, and it does short hop into the glove. No question about it.
Carlos was all over it. That sorted out. Another 1-2. Bouncer. Matsui with a short throw. Well, we have a moment. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
It's the funniest bloopers, blunders, and embarrassing moments, all caught on tape. America's funniest home videos. Weekdays at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Top of the order, Alfonso Soriano at the plate. Came in hitting .400 during his 9-game hitting streak, but he's 0 for 2. Soriano fan back there. Taylor Conway and mother Carolyn from Sterling, Illinois, enjoying the game today. I'm going to say hello to their grandparents watching. Actually, I believe it's Caroline. L-I-N-E. So welcome to the Conways. And a very special welcome to Florence Lowe to Wrigley Field. She is here celebrating her 104th birthday. Happy birthday, Florence. Wow, 104.
Just watching Alfonso Soriano during the course of this at bat, he keeps flexing that left wrist, opening and closing his hand. Swung and missed at the first 2 pitches, off-speed pitches down, low and away from him. Had better swings at the last 2, but well, you hope that's nothing serious. Continues to crank that left wrist around, opening and closing his hand.
Smacked on the ground for Tulowitzki. Still a little flex of that left hand and wrist.
You know, most hitters, when they swing and make contact, everything is fine. It's when you swing and miss or you try to check your swing that occasionally you'll have problems with that hand or wrist area.
Wind gusting. I just love the weather stuff. I mean, everybody you talk to has a different idea of what's going to happen. Fontenot high and deep right field. Whoa! Way out! And a great catch by the fan as that ball deflected back. Mike Fontenot with the major power. Are you kidding? That's where the big boys hit him.
Well, we talked about his quick swing earlier in the ball game, and those quick swings when you catch a ball right on the sweet spot of the bat, they generate a lot more power than you might realize. Nice level bat through the hitting zone, but gets the bottom part of the ball, and that thing really flew 415 feet. According to our Southwest, how far did it fly?
I wonder if Mike Fontenot told Cliff Floyd, who's now out of the dugout, to see if he can put one out there.
That's where the big guys hit him.
That's his third home run. That ball actually came back. I think it hit the back of the concourse just beyond the bleachers. Just missed going out onto Sheffield.
A heads-up play by that young man.
Yeah, the fan right next to him was still looking for that ball outside of the bleachers. It's going to be trouble for Matsui. Couldn't handle it. It's a second ball that's dropped. You had wind and sun and all kinds of conditions, and Matsui could not catch it.
Well, you can see from the shadows on the field as Matsui's going back, that ball is directly up into the sun. He actually overran the ball. Had to reach back toward the infield to try to make the play, but it dropped safely.
They gave Matsui an error. That's his second error of the series, and the only two he's made all year.
I don't understand how that one's an error and Tulowitzki's is not. Tulowitzki was camped under his and it dropped. Matsui was running with his back to the infield and it dropped.
That's where you get into that gray area of, does a guy even make a play on it? In the case of Tulowitzki, he never did get a glove on it. I agree with you now thinking about it. That was a tougher play than the Tulowitzki pop.
Oh, no question about it. Tulowitzki had to move a few steps over into the outfield, but he was camped under it. You can see Matsui's running out towards center field. Now, granted, he does misjudge it because he lost it in the sun, but that's a much tougher play than Tulowitzki's.
I might even say that I'm fine with a Matsui error. The problem is the other pop-up. I mean, it's a ball that has to be caught, and that's where you get in that whole should there be a team error thing. Because really a guy should not get a hit for a pop-up to short. Although you gladly take it if you're Mike Fontenot. Here's that play earlier.
Yeah, Tulowitzki's in good position. Appears to be camped underneath the ball, stationary, and then it drops for a base hit.
So a two-out error keeping the inning alive. 5-0 Cubs. 2 home runs. DeRosa and Fontenot.
I asked Cliff about the home run he hit in the ball game last night, and he said that was one of those rare occasions where he was looking for one pitch in one zone and got it. And big strong hitters like Cliff Floyd, when they're looking for one pitch in one zone and it's there, their eyes light up, and he absolutely crushed that ball to right field last night.
Hirsch with a long look at his catcher. 2-2. Driven by Floyd. Sullivan with the grab. Mike Fontenot with a blast to right. And that extends the lead to 5-0 Cubs.
What up, P?
Yo, I got an idea.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam. Because at Denny's, you can always eat like it's the weekend.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
There's a new reason to celebrate your home. Ace Hardware is opening new stores nationwide, so we're celebrating with a national grand opening sale in your neighborhood with great deals and helpful advice.
Buy a Weber Smoky Joe grill for just $39.99 and get a $20 rebate. Ace Royal Paint. Buy 2 gallons and get the price of 1 gallon back by rebate. Plus 20 great items are eligible for a full retail cost rebate. Use your Ace Rewards card for double points at the grand opening sale this Friday and Saturday only.
Ace.
The helpful place.
Caution, professional toolman at work.
Before there's construction, there is destruction.
He's fully trained to handle dangerous situations. Like 3 kids, 1 wife, and Al.
You know what I've always wondered? Why everybody likes Al?
Remember, don't try this at home. Leave it to the comedy professionals.
Just to weed out the men from the boys.
Home Improvement, weekdays.
Weekdays at 5:30 on Superstation WGN.
5-0 as Mike Fontenot hit it over the bleachers in right. The ball did stay in the ballpark. He picked up his 3rd home run. Bottom 3 in the Rockies order. Tulowitzki, Torrealba, and then Hirsch due up. Not sure if we'll see him. No action in the Rockies bullpen. That could change in this half inning. On the Cup, LaTroy Hawkins. Scoreless inning last night. Foul back. Great to have Elsie Mrazek, 99 years old, from Naperville. She's at the ball game today. Lifelong Cubs fan. Went to her first Cubs game at age 90 and has come every season since. A topper off the plate. Barehanded pickup. The throw. DeRosa gets it. Made it look easy. It was far from that. 1 out.
And once again, if you watch Mark DeRosa on this play, watch how he gets his body into a position so that when he does make the bare hand play, he's ready to throw. Just redirects his momentum toward first base, gets off a strong throw, all in a rhythm.
One on the number 8 hitter Torrealba. Hirsch is on deck. Looks like he's going to stay in the game. I'm sure Clint Hurdle would like to see some more innings out of his starter today. Now, Bob, when you managed and you were in a spot where you were going up against a red hot team, you had the other team's ace on the mound. You weren't seeing a lot of positive signs offensively. Does that affect how you view your pitching situation? I mean, you think about, well, I don't want to give up any more here, but if I can't get back in the game, at least I know my starter can maybe give us another inning or two. Does that factor in?
And a lot of it depends on how much you've used your bullpen as well. It all works off of each other. Yeah, you know against Carlos Zambrano, you're probably not going to score a lot of runs. You fall behind early in the ball game. You have to be realistic about your chances of getting back in a ball game. One of the quotes I heard about the toughest things to learn as a manager, one of the hardest things to learn is how to lose. You have to realize that there are certain days you just have to say, well, we're not giving up the ball game, but our chances of winning are pretty slim, so I'm not going to burn up my bullpen, have a bunch of tired arms down there for tomorrow. I'm going to kind of concede that it's going to be tough to win this game, and my starting pitcher, as long as his pitch count is okay, he's just going to have to stay out there and eat up some innings.
You concede nothing, but you have to look at it like, well, do I use 5 guys out of my bullpen right now, or do I try to get another inning or two out of the starting pitcher who simply hasn't been very good today?
You know, I think that's one of the reasons for the sometimes contentious relationship between managers and beat writers. You know, manager, he's obviously thinking about winning a ball game today, but he's got to have an eye on tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. And granted, you'd like to win every ball game, and you put in an effort to win every ball game, but you also have to have an eye on the future and what is it going to do to my pitching staff? What's it going to do to my roster if I go for broke trying to win this ball game that may be unwinnable? I think sometimes writers misinterpret a manager's moves in those kind of ball games.
In the hole. They've got a shot. Safe. Terrio with a nice play and made it close, but Torrealba will have an infield hit. Well, it's the conversation we've had a few times, and that is sometimes you are faced as a manager with 2 or 3 choices, and not one of those choices is a good one.
Yep.
But you have to pick one. And if you're not going to go with your starter right now, then your other option is to burn up your bullpen. So it's like, okay, pick one. You're paid to pick one.
Yep.
And take the heat that will ultimately come from it.
That's why whenever we look at an opposing manager and try to wonder why is he doing what he's doing, I always preface what I say with, he knows his ball club a lot better than we do. He knows where they've been over the last several days. He knows where they're headed in the next several days, and the manager's always going to make the right decision for his own ball club.
There's one. That's 2. 1, 6, 3. A double play. Zambrano out of the 5th. We are halfway home. It's 5-0.
Welcome to California.
We cruise.
We fly.
We run.
We go with the flow.
We let go.
And we believe one simple thing.
That every day in California is your lucky day.
Is your lucky day.
So there's just one thing you have to ask yourself.
How fast can you get here?
Find yourself in California. Southwest Airlines is taking low fares farther with more than 90 daily flights from Chicago Midway to these cities.
You are now free to move about the country. The new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundae at Dairy Queen with creamy DQ soft serve, pecans, and... Wait, is it pecans or pecans? Pecans? Okay. Pecans and gooey caramel. Or is it caramel? Do one.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
On the next Scrubs, medicine is a serious sport. And when old rivals meet...
Dr. Cox?
It's ugly.
If you're smart, you'll stay away from him.
It's nasty.
Pass me the remote, buddy.
and you don't want to get in the middle.
Get ready.
Jay Moore guest stars.
Touchdown!
Next Scrubs.
Tonight at 11:30 Eastern. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN.
And today's Honda Civic Games summary. Carlos Zambrano continues to pitch extraordinarily well. He's allowed 2 hits and no runs through 5, and the offense coming through once again. Mark DeRosa back at third base today. We saw him at second base last night. We've seen him in right field. And a double to lead off the second inning. And 2 batters later, Ryan Theriot sends him home to make it 1-0. DeRosa with a 3-run blast in the third inning. 4-zip. And then Mike Fontenot, not only did he hit a home run, look how far it went. So it's 5-0. Our Honda Civic Game summary. Get performance and save gas. Test drive a new Civic at your Honda dealer today.
Well, you think Fontenot's home run went a long ways just watching it there live, or on tape rather. Wait till tomorrow. That ball hit a building across the street and bounced back. It's going to get longer by the day.
And he smoked it. Back on DeRosa, who will bat second in this inning behind Angel Pagan. He's had a Craig Counsell-like series. We talk about the versatility of the Brewers super utility guy. Mark DeRosa with starts in right, second, and third in 3 consecutive days.
It's such a valuable asset to a ball club to have guys that can play multiple positions and play them at a high level.
Breaking ball strike on Pagan. Angel 0 for 2. We've seen Felix Pie get a few days off here recently. He has struggled a bit lately. That one's caught by Tulowitzki. Really with a double and a home run. Well, I've gotten a lot of great emails today. We're not going to be able to get to all of them, but thanks to everybody who sent their Stratomatic stories. Got a nice email from a 13-year-old. Johnny Richards. So thanks for the email. If you'd like to send us a note, Lena and Bob at AOL.com. Brett Edgerton, originally from Memphis, Tennessee, big Cubs fan, and writing to us from the Yale Cancer Center in New Haven, Connecticut. We hope you're feeling better, Brett. Thanks for watching today. Backhanded stop, but dropped by Tulowitzki, recovers in time, and DeRosa retired for the first time. Watch the Cubs battle the Brewers this Sunday at 1:20. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive an exclusive limited edition Cubs bobblehead doll. Compliments of Chevrolet. Here comes Coy Hill. Squib foul past Mike Quaddy at third base. Well, the Cubs right now closer to 500 than they've been in a long time, since they were 20-22 on May 20th. It's been a while. Last time they were within one was the day before, May 19th, when they beat the White Sox here, 20-21.
You know your ball club's playing good when the manager strikes that pose in the dugout. He's not pacing right now. He's not up on the top step grinding. Just kind of kicking back and relaxing, watching his boys go about their business.
It's like the GQ photo shoot.
Every manager has his own style. I mean, you rarely see Joe Torre pacing in a dugout. You occasionally will see Bobby Cox get up off the bench to go over and yell at the home plate umpire, but other guys can't sit still. Constantly in motion, either pacing up and down the dugout, going up and down the steps. Lou with a little more relaxed pose today.
Were you a walker, or did you like to sit?
I like to sit, but only while we were hitting. Usually when we went back out to take the field, I had to move around a little bit. Got a little nervous.
Swing and a miss by Hill. That's a 1-2-3 fifth for Hurst, but the Cubs lead 5-zip.
The Greg Barron Show.
He just gives you the honest truth.
Real problems, real solutions.
We don't talk about the problem and then solve it later. We solve it today.
Critics say Greg's sensible and heartfelt. Refreshing. The New York Times says the Greg Barron Show works.
My life changed from being on his show.
Greg Barron.
Weekdays at 2 on Superstation WGN.
Hey! My beer! Come here, you little varmint! You can run, but you can't hide! Oh, you think the tree's gonna save you? You furry freak! Come to Papa!
Fred? Hey, neighbor.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Mine! Let go!
No, you don't!
Yes, I do!
Let go, Fred!
That's cold.
Why does that bother you?
Why does it bother me? So easy a caveman can do it?
Well, it's just a commercial.
Okay. Well, what if it said Geico.com, so easy a therapist can do it?
Well, that commercial wouldn't make sense to me.
Why not?
Well, therapists
are what? Smart? My mother's calling. I'll put it on speaker.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
TV Guide gives it 3 stars.
Don't tell somebody else you're going to string me up. Tell me.
A powerful story of a proud, uncompromising man. A memorable tribute. A moving, enlightening portrait of a forgotten hero. A powerhouse performance by James Earl Jones.
Hey, boy. Colored sections, 1 row back. Colored section starts right here.
The Vernon John story.
Saturday at 3 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Well, our friend Florence Lowe on her 104th birthday recognized on the scoreboard. Got a very nice hand from the faithful here at Wrigley Field.
Happy birthday, Florence. Nice going.
Her Cubbies leading the Rockies 5-0. Top of the order, it's Sullivan looking at a strike, 1-1. I think I was getting into something earlier during a home run. You talk about the weather, you get different opinions on what everybody thinks is going to happen. Zambrano will try to flip it with a glove, and that'll be a hit. A single for Sullivan. But we are told, and we're not experts, but there are storms in the area. So it will probably get wet at some point. It's just a matter of whether it'll be during this ball game or not.
Looking butt by Sullivan. Looked like Z might have been able to field, get it into bare hand and toss, but he tries to make the glove-to-glove flip to Derek Lee, and then D. Lee tries to sell it at first base as the ball comes rolling his direction. That's a very tough play. You know, we see second basemen do that a lot on those little slow rollers to the right side. They make it look so easy. That's not an easy play. It's a little bit easier for a second baseman because of the glove that they use. Second baseman's mitt is very small, has a very shallow pocket in it. Almost like deflecting that ground ball toward first base. That time Z got it hung up in the webbing just a little bit as he tried to shovel it to Derek Lee.
It's just their third hit. They've all been singles. And only one has left the infield. Sullivan has 2 of their hits. The first coming in the 3rd inning. Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike on the switch hitting. Kaz Matsui. First Cubs game. Watching his team have the lead as they try to win their 6th in a row. Slide step. Too high. Pop to left. Soriano with the catch. Holiday with 1 out, 1 on. Mentioned the Tulowitzki unassisted triple play earlier this year. Well, the AAA Iowa Cubs completed the 4th triple play in their franchise history last night in a 14-8 rout of the Albuquerque Isotopes. Recently signed Brett Prinz, right-hander. Former member of the White Sox, earned his first win with the I-Cubs, 2 scoreless innings. Ronnie Cedeno tied a franchise record, 3 doubles. He went 5 for 6. Buck Coates 3 for 3. And the Cubs are in first place, half a game up in the Northern Division of the Pacific Coast League.
7 different Iowa Cubs had at least 1 double in that ball game last night.
Holiday dunks it over Fontenot. And they're at the corners for the Rockies. Their best opportunity to get some runs. Second time they've had 2 on.
Next pitch from Carlos will be his 90th of the ball game. Has settled in nicely after a rocky first inning when he threw 26 pitches. Love to throw a ground ball right here, right at one of his infielders.
Nothing on Todd Helton. Boy, bad news for left-hander Mark Pollock, Cubs first-round pick in 2005. He suffered a broken bone in his right elbow when he tripped over a PlayStation. It was in Arizona in his apartment. Bill's coming out. But again, he's a lefty, and it was the right elbow, so that's the only good news. And I guess he'll be back around August. It was an extended spring training down in Mesa. I didn't hear anything else specific. I'm wondering if maybe he tripped over the cord or what.
Video games aren't supposed to be contact sports.
That article, was it Joel Zumaya? He was playing Guitar Hero last year. A lot was made of the Carlos Zambrano on the computer too much a couple of years ago. (3-0) Atkins on deck. Zambrano in trouble really for the first time today. 3-1. And this is a Rockies offense that can get back into the game quickly. They're 4th in the league in runs. They don't quit, as we've seen the last 2 nights in the 9th inning. Helton walks, they're loaded with 1 out. While we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
These doctors are on the cutting edge of comedy. Catch a full hour of the Emmy Award-winning series Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Now, Carlos Marmol, who came on late last night, Ryan Dempster put on the disabled list before the contest. He's getting loose in the 6th inning today. Marmol began the 9th, gave up 3 hits, struck out the next 2, and then Will Ullman got his first career save as he retired Todd Helton as a tying run at the plate. Carlos was a little aggravated. He wanted a chance to get that 3rd out in the 9th, but Lou didn't mind that. He likes it. Carlos Marmol wants to get that final out of the ball game. On the ground, foul toward third base. 2 strikes to count. He would love a strikeout of Atkins.
Out of that ground ball double play, going with back-to-back sinkers here to Atkins, trying to get that ground ball.
Crowd's into it. Cubs lead 5-0. Rockies threatening. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Like a cut fastball, a little bit up in the zone at 93 miles an hour. Belt high, just blows it right by Atkins.
Sprayed foul by Hop into the upper deck. Now, this is what happens when your closer's out. You had 2 guys who closed out the game last night, both getting ready in the 6th inning, as Ullman has joined Marmol. First option in the 9th, generally, if everybody's healthy, here with Dempster out, it's going to be Bob Howery, and then Marmol and Ullman. You have to be ready pretty much whenever now. It's that classic bullpen by committee.
When everybody's healthy, as you said, and things line up the way you like to lead to that closer, it's fairly easy to use that bullpen in an orderly fashion. But when you're missing that final piece in the 9th inning, everybody gets kind of scrambled around out there, and you just have to patchwork it together as best you can.
Under the watchful eye of Lester Strode, the bullpen coach. Still haven't seen the big league debut of Billy Petrick, who was brought up from Double-A Tennessee yesterday. His job's to protect the bullpen. Had a ball get by him yesterday. They're going to get on their feet. 2-ball, 2-strike count with the bases loaded here in the 6th. Two. Right field, Floyd coming on. Can't get to it before it drops, and the Rockies get a couple of runs. 5-2 now. Sullivan and Holiday scoring. Brad Hop now with 54 RBIs after the 2-run single.
A little work, full swing, hits the little floater out in the shallow right. You can see Cliff with the glove up high near his shoulder, trying to decoy the runners into thinking he was going to catch it, but with 2 outs, the runners are going to be running anyway. That's one instance where Carlos probably wishes he'd hit it a little better. It's something hard enough to carry all the way out there to Cliff Floyd.
All of a sudden, the tying run is at the plate. One strike on Tulowitzki, hitting 7. Jorge Julio is up for the Rockies. Clint Hurdle got what he wanted from Jason Hirsch. He left him out there, let him bat in the 5th inning, and then he went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. And he has a reliever up in case that pitcher spot comes up here in the 6th. Zambrano trying to avoid that. Swing and a miss to get out of the inning. The Rockies do get a pair. It's now 5-2 Cubs. Bottom 6 coming up.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet.
Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Charlie, Henry, wake up.
Tom.
You're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting.
Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad.
Text IM, Pix, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
On the next Scrubs, medicine is a serious sport. And when old rivals meet,
Dr. Cox,
you don't want to get in the middle.
get ready.
Jay Moore guest stars.
Touchdown!
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern. America's funniest home videos, weeknights on Superstation WGN.
Brad Hopp with a 2-run single, so the Rockies now on the board. It's 5-2. And we're going to see Ryan Theriot lead off the bottom of the 6th, and Jock Jones behind him. He would hit for Zambrano. So Jones in a pinch hit spot. And we're going to see the kid, Billy Petrick from Morris, Illinois. What's going on in his chest right now?
Oh, boy. Sounds like a bass drum.
I'm guessing he got a few phone calls yesterday when family and friends found out he was coming to the big leagues. Did he get any tickets?
Family and friends he didn't even know he had.
Theriot hits a ground ball. Backhanded play by Tulowitzki. And the out. So it's Jock Jones to pinch hit. Lots of speculation that he was going to end up traded, but it did not happen. He said before the ballgame he's going to use Jock in a pinch hitting spot today. 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits allowed by Zambrano. Walked 3, struck out 8. Outside, ball 1. Dips in the strike zone. 1-1. 107 pitches for Carlos today. They got near his average.
Carlos has really only had 3 starts this year when he threw less than 100 pitches. Threw 97 against Atlanta on the 1st of the month. And you have to go all the way back to his first start of the year against the Reds. He went 92. His 3rd start of the year against the Reds once again. He threw 87. Every other start he's gone over 100 pitches.
You know, consider that if he gets the win today, it would be his 9th of the year. This is game 77. So if he could win his next start, be right after the midway point for the Cubs. He's an out recorded, 3 unassisted. He could be on that pace to win 20, even after the slow start.
Boy, no question, it makes you wonder what if Carlos had gotten off to a start this season the way he's pitched his last 5 ball games. He'd be in double digits in victories already. Could possibly make good on his boast of winning the National League Cy Young Award.
He could get to within 1 win of the National League leader Brad Penny, who has 10. Soriano, 2 outs, nobody on. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. 6 straight sent down by the rookie right-hander Jason Hirsch. The next pitch, missed it again. This will be the last inning for Hirsch. His spot due up second in the 7th.
Good emergency swing there by Soriano. Hirsch just trying to stay away from him. A first pitch breaking ball and then 2 consecutive fastballs just off the outside corner.
So he's thrown more now than Zambrano. Where's the sun going?
Don't even want to think about it.
The blue skies are starting to go away.
For the fans that have been sitting out in the bright sunlight all afternoon, this is probably a welcome relief for a short period of time.
Sounded like he busted his back. And Corey Sullivan gathers it in. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Hirsch to end his afternoon.
It's American Idol's very first top 10. Was Simon's prediction right?
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
What are you doing?
Should we pick him up? He has Bud Light.
He has an axe.
But he has Bud Light.
And an axe.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. Hey, buddy. What's with the axe?
It's a bottle opener.
Hop in.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Look, here's Bud Light.
And a chainsaw.
That's cold.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free.
Then feel free to change back again.
In the old town.
Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
You figured, oh, here's a loser, you know, a deadbeat.
Well, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
You cannot drag this negative energy into the tournament.
Jeffrey.
Bond?
Love me.
That's my robe.
I'm throwing rocks tonight.
It don't matter to Gina.
Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Time now for our Bud Light fan cam. The Delaware Destroyer himself, George Thorogood, with a classic.
Yeah, you know what I drink a
is. He's going to conduct the 7th inning stretch. I Drink Alone, one of the many hits from George Thorogood from the House of Blues last night. Today's Bud Light Fan Cam, always worth it. We are going to witness the Major League debut of 6'6", 240-pound right-hander Billy Petrick, William John Petrick III, 23 years old, born in Kankakee, and grew up in Morris, Illinois. Graduated from Morris High in 2002 and was a 3rd-round pick of the Chicago Cubs. He began the year at High A Daytona, pitching for Jody Davis. Made a stop at Double-A Tennessee, and here he is in the big leagues. First pitch strike, 93. Toss that baseball out of play, so Petrick will get that one. A strike on his first major league pitch to Jordi Torrealba. Foul pop. And out of play. So it began the year pitching again for Jody Davis, then Pat Listash, and now Lou Piniella. Nice going. That Soriano fan pumped up. Bob looks like he has a pretty good fastball. I guess a 4-seamer that cuts a little bit. He does have a 2-seamer, but mainly the 4-seamer and a slider. 95.
A little extra cheddar on that one. Came inside on Torrealba, heading the count 0-2. Wanted to stand him up a little bit in that batter's box. Don't let him get comfortable leaning out over the plate.
Past Petrick. Fontenot time. Over the lead. 1 out. Pinch hitter Willie Taveras. In the place of Hirsch. Two bunt hits last night. Willie Taveras. He has already set a Rockies club record for bunt hits in a season. In 77 team games, 61 for him. Already with a record with 26. Trying to bunt that time. George Thorogood getting ready for the 7th inning stretch. Getting some final words of instruction from Katie Marta, Cubs marketing department. I think she's warning George about us, saying, you know, Len and Bob could be really tough. So, and he said, you know, I'm bad to the bone, so it's not a problem for me. I'll take care of him. Inside, 96 that time for Petrick.
Well, you like to see that too. His 2 fastest pitches in this ball game have been when he came inside on the opposing hitters. Many young pitchers, many veteran pitchers for that matter, when they come inside, they tend to take a little bit off.
Got him. Called strike 3. First career strikeout of the looking variety.
Like a cutter. Started inside a little bit, moves back toward that inside corner. Coy Hill does a nice job of pushing that ball back toward the strike zone from our Southwest RoboCam. The first major league strikeout for Petrick.
Here's Corey Sullivan with 2 outs. Corey Sullivan. Not too many at bats though. 4 for 7. Sliced foul. Another foul. Major League debut for Billy Petrick. Got the call up yesterday. And Ryan Dempster went on the disabled list. Minor league hitters batting just .202 against him. He's in the big leagues now. They're hitting nothing. Stretch time.
Our guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, welcome George Thorogood.
All right, Cub fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. And it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some more runs!
My country, 'tis the sweet land of liberty, of the icy.
This 4th of July, the people of Southwest Airlines join the people of the United States of America as we celebrate our independence.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
You are now free to celebrate your birthday, America.
The new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundae at Dairy Queen with creamy DQ soft serve, pecans, and... Wait, is it pecans or pecans? Pecans? Okay. Pecans and gooey caramel. Or is it caramel? Do one.
They've spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Left-hander Jeremy Affeldt is on for the Colorado Rockies and wanted all over the world. George Thorogood. How about this? We pulled this out from the vault. Dave Grunvig, who runs our audio board, and thanks for signing that.
Well,
that's great.
My pleasure.
These your fingerprints. That's going to drop down for Fontenot. He has 3 hits today: a single, a home run, and a double. This is back from the photo taken 1978.
Yeah, quite a little while ago. I'm still working on the mustache and the beard and the facial hair thing. I'm still working on it. I dug that kid striking him out. That was the kid that caught me when I threw out the first ball.
Yeah, caught the ceremony first pitch.
0-2 in Arizona. 0-1 in Tampa and 0-1 in Cleveland. I'm getting my first win in Wrigley Field today.
There you go.
My first pitch, I said, come on, hold that lead. Pinella will never speak to me. I gotta leave with a win under my belt, Bobby.
You don't want Lou mad at you.
No. I call him Sweet Lou.
It's Derek Lee to bat with a runner at second and no outs. Left-hander Affeldt. A quick look back at second. And inside.
I could get behind this action. I could get behind this. Yeah, I like this. Face made for radio. I'm telling you, this is.
I'll tell you what. You were born to take me out to the ball game.
Thank you.
All the energy and everybody really responded.
Thank you.
Just outstanding.
I'm one of those people that could talk my way into the lineup and play my way out of it.
So, how do you like playing at the House of Blues?
It's the
Isn't
best.
that a great place?
Especially here in Chicago. Just the loyalty of the fans. It's like Cub fans. With an album, they pack the place. Without an album, they still come out. Fantastic. It's always been that way in Chicago, but especially the House of Blues.
Going inside on Derek Lee, almost caught the back foot.
Only 3 things kept me out of the big leagues, fellas. I couldn't hit, run, or throw. Yeah, other than that, I talked a pretty good game.
Kind of limits your chances.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Born to be first base coach.
Did you start the semi-pro league that you played in the 70s?
No, the Roberto Clemente League started before 1976, and I joined it in 79.
Okay.
Rookie of the year, right here, in 79. Right. You made the All-Star team. One at bat and got a base hit. Hung up the spikes after that.
Good career choice.
Yeah.
Huh? Quit while you're on top.
You got it. Yes.
Ground ball. And Derek will move that runner to third. There's one out. Check out that first pitch today.
Look at that form. Ephus pitch.
There you go.
Ephus pitch. Rush back.
Tough to hit.
Look at that.
Talk too much. Now, is that a hint from our production crew, Bob?
I think so, yeah. They've been dying to play that all day.
That's right. Runner at third. The infield's going to come in against Cliff Floyd. Now, George, I want to ask you about when you choose, and I know you've done an album of blues covers. Do you just hear a song and go, wow, we've got to play that song? Or how does the process work when you picked to cover some of the great blues songs?
Well, you got to make sure no one else has done it too many times.
Okay.
It's kind of like a scout looking at a player. You say, we can use this. This will fit in. Like an actor choosing the right role. You say, this is just right for our band. So I listen to music because it's very easy to play, and it's not hard to sing. It's for me.
Sounds a lot like the Lennon Bob band.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can I play it, and can Len sing it?
Going outside on a breaking ball.
Well, I got to tell you, George, for most of my friends out there, your music means good times. I mean,
thank you.
George Thorogood and the Delaware Destroyers, I guess Jay Giles maybe kind of in the same vein of party music.
That's,
you
great
get you
company. I'm a
get
big
you up
Jay
out
Giles
of your
fan.
chair, dancing and having a good time. Well, you've had a great career.
Thank you. Hey, I thought you said a lot of class when you were managing that World Championship team, and you gave slides and a guitar to your players. Never forgot that. I think that was a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah, that was the postseason the gift for my coaches. As you well know, the coaches do all the work. And
I'm a big Renee Latchman fan. Used to work right here in the third base coaching box.
There's a walk, so Cliff's heading down to first base. Oh, you know your stuff. Big baseball fan. Favorite player growing up?
Well, I like Junior Gilliam. I was a big Mazeroski fan. I think my favorite player when I was a kid was probably Henry Aaron.
Good choice. Felix P.A. is going to pinch run.
But my man these days is Julio Franco. That's my man. 48 years, 49 years, going strong, baby. What an inspiration.
He'll be 49, I believe, in August.
Yeah.
And assuming he plays next year, he'll be 50.
Can you imagine being the manager of that team and some 22-year-old rookie says, I feel tired, I want to sit down?
Yeah.
Can you imagine how great it is to have a guy like that on the team?
He'll be drawing a paycheck and a retirement check at the same time.
There you go. Deserving every penny.
Yeah, absolutely.
So PA running at first. You have Fontenot at third. Rockies want a double play ball. That pitch is low on Angel Pagan. The best or most incredible venue you've ever played?
Incredible venue. Well, we did a thing in Leeds with the Rolling Stones, and they drew just under 400,000 people.
That's it?
That was, yeah. If they hadn't had me on the bill, they might have topped the 400 grand mark. You know, that was pretty amazing.
Pagan drives it. It's going to be caught by Sullivan, but it will be a sac fly. Fontenot comes in. It's now 6-2.
Be a great trivia question, this guy. Great baseball name, Angel Pagan. If you say it, you know, if you say it in England, it's Pagan, but the double meaning is you know, he can't lose either way. You know,
I think you're right.
His parents have a wonderful sense of humor. That's a great name, great baseball name. I love that name. Angels in the outfield.
Well, DeRosa trying to destroy another baseball. He hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. Ground ball. They'll get the out at second base. Some George Thorogood and the Destroyers. We go to break, George. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure's
We'll see you back here very soon. You're the best.
Thank you very much. It wasn't Harry Carey, but we'll have to do it.
Caution, professional toolman at work. He's fully trained to handle dangerous situations. Like 3 kids, 1 wife, and Al. Remember, don't try this at home. Home Improvement, weekdays.
Weekdays at 5:30 on Superstation WGN.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam. Because at Denny's, you can always eat like it's the weekend.
Caution, professional toolman at work.
Before there's construction, there is destruction.
He's fully trained to handle dangerous situations. Like 3 kids, 1 wife, and Al.
You know what I've always wondered? Why everybody likes Al?
Remember, don't try this at home. Leave it to the comedy professionals.
Just to weed out the men from the boys.
Home Improvement, weekdays.
Weekdays at 5:30 on Superstation WGN.
PA remains in and plays center field. And Pagan goes over, plays right. Oh, what a good guy, George Thorogood. And a huge baseball fan.
Big-time baseball fan. Been into George in my days as a manager with the Diamondbacks. He was playing some shows down in Tucson at a little tiny club. I don't know, 300-400 people, something like that. Came out to some spring training workouts. Took some swings in the batting cage. What a great show.
His band once went on a 1 show per state tour. All 50 states in 50 nights.
50 nights, yeah. He could certainly identify with a minor league ball player. Getting on the bus, getting off the bus, getting on the bus, getting off the bus.
Try not to be under it.
Yeah.
Back to our earlier conversation this week.
Well, we talk about ball players that are high energy. George Thorogood puts on a high energy show.
Petrick with a 1-2-3-7. First game in the big leagues. Ullman still warming. Tap foul by Matsui. Now, every 3 or 4 minutes, the skies get a little darker. Still dry. We're in the 8th. Cubs leading 6-2. Matsui is aboard, so we'll see Petrick from the stretch for the first time.
Well, a great start to his major league career for Billy Petrick. Got the ground ball off the bat of Yorvik Torrealba. Check swing chopper. Fondo has no problems with that, and then decides to get the next 2 himself. Strikes out Taveras looking. Gets Sullivan swinging. Welcome to the big leagues, Billy.
The pride of Morris, Illinois. Fly ball hit by Holiday. Caught by PA. 1 out.
Get well wishes to Josh Gomez in Sacramento, California. Happy 70th birthday to Bob Graham from Iowa. And how about this one? Pat's having a birthday today, and Pat is a she, and her husband is Ron. So Pat and Ron are here celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary on Pat's birthday.
Well, it's one big happy family in the radio booth as well.
Yep. The happy couple. One of the happy couples here today.
A barn burner in Milwaukee. Astros Brewers 3-3 in the bottom of the ninth. Craig Biggio on the bench. After today's game, the Astros go home for a very long homestand where he'll likely pick up at some point his 3,000th hit. Right now 3 away. It could come against the Rockies. The 4-game series, Rockies and the Astros, starting tomorrow night. Three balls and a strike, so we've seen Petrick get behind a couple of hitters this inning. And the velocity keeps going up. 98 on Argon on the last pitch. Flare to left. Soriano has it.
Good jump again by Soriano in left field. It's remarkable the jumps that he gets in left field that he was having trouble getting in center field. That little hop right at the end as he makes the play.
The wind has really turned, and you know what? That helps the Cubs. They're up 4.
Yeah.
It was blowing straight out, but it's a cool breeze coming in and pretty hard. Just amazing.
That is amazing.
This was one of the warmest days of the summer a couple of hours ago, but it's starting to cool off. Well hit, Soriano, and it's into the basket. He was hoping that ball was going to stay in. But Atkins hit it just high enough for a 2-run blast, and now it's 6-4. So no Caro. Ended up right in the basket. It's his 9th home run.
It's a laser beam line drive off the bat of Garrett Atkins. As you mentioned, kept it down low. That ball was never very high off the ground. My estimation did the right thing. He's not going to be able to catch that ball, so back off, make sure you can play that carom should it happen to stay in play.
Well, that's a first hit allowed by Petrick, a 2-run home run. We're going to get a pitching change with the wind really howling in. And a standing ovation for the Illinois kid making his big league debut. We'll be back.
Superstation WGN is your home for blockbuster movies that let you escape into another world. Where you can be a hero.
The United States government just asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no?
A queen.
I am my father's daughter. I am not afraid of anything.
A thief.
It's not about the money. We like to chase.
Where you can be a little crazy.
You're crazy.
You're beautiful.
Where your dreams come true.
Where I feel like I could fly.
Where you can fall in love.
Are you the author of the plays of William Shakespeare?
I am.
Then kiss me again, for I'm not this time.
Where you can go back in time.
Let's go. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Or where you can go back home.
From home.
Superstation WGN is your home for blockbuster movies that are fun for the entire family.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
With action.
What the hell is happening? I blew up the building. Why? Because you made a phone call!
Adventure. And everything in between. From the classics to the cutting edge. And from first kisses to first loves. Our movies are where dreams come true. Superstation WGN.
Will Oman is on. He got the save last night. The first career save for the left-hander. 0-1 pitch is hooked on the ground by Brad Hopp. Step on the base by Derek Lee, and the inning is over. Atkins with a 2-run homer. The Cubs lead, but it's down to 2.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares even farther. Visit southwest.com.
Make it easy for yourself. With Southwest Airlines, you can fly nonstop from Chicago Midway to Long Island MacArthur for just $39 one way with a 7-day advance purchase.
You are now free to move about the country.
Charlie, Henry, wake up.
What's wrong?
You're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting.
Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad.
Text IM, Pix, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
This is my case.
I didn't kill anybody.
Bang, bang, bang.
You have the right to remain silent.
Stories come to life. Weekdays, Homicide, Life on the Streets at 11 a.m. and Da Vinci's Inquest at 12 p.m. Only on Superstation WGN. Bioterrorists manufacture a deadly new disease.
If we don't stop this virus, the world as we know it will change forever.
Next 24.
Saturday night at 11:30 on WGN.
Let's take a look at our upcoming Cubs and Sox high-definition broadcast schedule, sponsored by Comcast. Friday, first of 3 with the NL Central leading Brewers at 1 o'clock on WGN. Sunday's broadcast also beginning with the leadoff man at 1 o'clock here on WGN Sports. The Sox will play host to the Baltimore Orioles Monday night, 7 o'clock on WCIU Channel 26. 2007 Big League Baseball in HD, sponsored by Comcast. Right-hander Manny Corpus is now pitching for the Rockies. The wind currently out of the north at 13. And the temperature has dropped upwards of 10 degrees. Down in the upper 70s now. That courtesy of our weather bug on WGNTV.com. A 1-1 to Coy Hill. Didn't mean to, and he fouled it back. And may have knocked a beverage and some other items off the ledge. Some fans in the front row. Actually, no, it wasn't, because the ledge is in play. Maybe there's something inside the ballpark.
Maybe your Vittorio Alba may have set his beverage back there on the rail.
Corpus leading the Rockies in appearances. This is his 39th. Strike 3. Out number 1. Terrio with an RBI single to start the scoring in the second. Technically, that could be the game-winning hit, because the Cubs have not trailed or even been tied since. . 2-1 slicing liner, Matsui.
Ryan might have hit that ball off the end of the bat a little bit, just judging from the trajectory. That ball was really slicing as it hit it out through the infield. Had to hit it right off the end of the bat.
Again, this crazy bullpen situation. The Cubs would be in a safe spot in the 9th inning with a 2-run lead. Darrell Ward on his 32nd birthday pinch hitting. He had a guy warming up in the 6th, and it looks like he's going to pitch the 9th. Carlos Marmol. Ward bats for Ullman. Came on and got hot to win the top of the 8th.
Darrell Ward wearing number 32 on his 32nd birthday.
Imagine that.
Of course, he was wearing 32 yesterday as well, and he was only 31. But
you're very perceptive of that stuff. I would not have caught that.
Master of the obvious.
Well, it never happened for you in the big leagues, right? You were not 15 when you joined the big leagues.
Joe Nuxall was.
That would have been a good number for him. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Corpus goes 1-2-3 in the 8th. Here comes the 9th inning. Carlos Marmol will try to pick up the save.
On the next Scrubs, medicine is a serious sport. And when old rivals meet,
Dr. Cox,
you don't want to get in the middle.
get ready.
Jay Moore guest stars.
Touchdown!
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern.
How long is this gonna last? I'm ready to hit the Bud Light. I already took care of it.
Say, well, all right, now we are gathered here today to join in marriage, Bob and Julie. Bob, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Do I hear and I do, I do, do I hear and I do?
I do.
Julie, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? Do I hear and I do, I do, do I hear and I do?
I do.
Going once, going twice, and now pronounce you husband and wife, you may kiss the bride.
And away we go. Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
So what I owe you?
100, 100 and a quarter, 100 and a half, 175, 200, 200 and a quarter.
That's cold.
So what are we in the mood for? I'll know it when I see it.
Okay, well,
I think I just did.
New 5-cheese tortelloni with shrimp, stuffed pastas with Italian cheeses and a garlic seafood sauce, or tortelloni with sausage starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Drive it forever.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Friday on WGN, the Cubs look to gain ground on the leaders of the pack in the NL Central, one swing at a time. Cubs, Brewers, Friday at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Want to see a Cubs game from the front row at Wrigley Field? Now you can. Visit Cubs.com and click on the front row auction to bid on tickets for the hottest games this summer. Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. It was Ullman picking up his first career save last night. Marmol trying to do the same today. th appearance out of the bullpen. He has 2 wins. Got into trouble in the 9th last night, but he came in with an 8-3 lead, rather an 8-4 lead, and was charged with 1 run.
Well, he made the Rockies earn it, and they got back-to-back hits to play to run there in the 9th inning. Then he struck out 2 batters before being taken down for Will Ullman to get the last out of the ball game. So it was like he was walking guys and creating bad opportunities for himself. He was going right after him. They just happened to get some hits.
Looking for the put-away pitch on Tulowitzki, and that's it. The slider. 1 out.
Hard biting slider from Carlos Marmol. Actually missed his spot. Coy Hill wanted that pitch low and away, but when you throw your slider that hard with that late break, you can afford to miss your spot a little bit.
Ended up going right through the front door. Ryan Spilborghs on deck for Corpus. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Well, the one thing that the Cubs were missing early in the season, a right-hander coming in and just throwing some gas. I'm talking about gas on the fire, but hot fastballs. Great catch by a youngster right near the broadcast booth on bat day with a bat in his hand, the glove in the other.
Don't drop any of your equipment. That's outstanding.
Saw Petrick in the mid to upper 90s earlier. Marmol throwing hard with that nasty slider. And I think the other thing we could add, even though he's on the disabled list, we've seen higher velocity from Ryan Dempster using his fastball more. We've seen some really good stuff in the Cubs bullpen. Called strike 3.
Well, this is a definition of painting that outside corner. And maybe one of the red seams caught the edge of the black of the plate right there. Just overpowered Torrealba. Fastball away.
Marmol trying to keep the tying run in the on-deck circle. 39-9-7-2, the paid crowd. 2 outs in the ninth. Slider strike. Very quick pace. One and 2. One strike away from their 6th straight win. Here it is. Little roller. Fontenot up with it. Cubs sweep. Their 2nd consecutive sweep. They took the White Sox in 3 straight over the weekend. They come back home to the north side and sweep the Rockies. So now they're within 1 of 500. The first place Brewers still playing. They're in extras 3-3 in Milwaukee against the Astros. Off day tomorrow, and the big series starting on Friday, and the grounds crew is going to get that tarp on the infield very quickly. It's going to rain hard here at some point.
Yeah, they may need some help to get that tarp on the field. Conditions changing quickly. One thing that hasn't changed is the Cubs' effort out there on the field. Their 2nd consecutive series sweep.
So another great win for the Cubs, and offense really doing the job. A lot of big 2-out hits. Carlos Zambrano is now 9-6 with a win. Carlos Marmol with his first major league save. Billy Petrick in his debut gave up a couple of runs, but showed some very good stuff. Some nice poise on the mound. And the Cubs will enjoy their off day tomorrow. Much more to come. Stay with us. 6-4 the final.
on relationships.
He's just not that into you.
Now he's making over your life.
Today, I want to change your life. It's almost a miracle. You look beautiful.
You're pretty.
And your relationships.
You need to get some dating done. Are you psyched about that?
The Greg Barrett Show.
Take a look.
Weekdays on Superstation WGN.
Flying to the Washington area for business? If these 15 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Baltimore, Washington, and Washington Dulles International, maybe this will. Unlike other airlines, our low fares don't have hidden fees.
You are now free to move about the country.
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Drive it forever.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Claire! I'm alive!
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Well, either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has a great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Planning on making this worth my while?
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
For the Cubs, 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors, 6 left. For the Rockies, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 5 men left. The winning pitcher is Carlos Zambrano. He's now 9-6. The losing pitcher, Jason Hirsch, he drops to 3-7. The save goes to Carlos Marmol. That is his first career rescue at this level. Similar story last night for Will Oman. 2 hours, 42 minutes in front of 39,972. You have 2 teams going in opposite directions as the Cubs with their season best 6th consecutive win, and the Rockies now on a 6-game skid. Our Budweiser plays of the game, Bob. We couldn't decide, so we're going to go with both home runs.
Mark DeRosa with a deep blast into left field. And then the little guy, Mike Fondo, says anything you can do, I can do further. Goes way back to right field in the back of the bleachers. Nice job by the Cubs offensively today.
The final, once again, the Cubs 6, the Rockies 4. The Cubs within 1 of the 500 mark. We'll have more from Wrigley Field. Stay with us.
Okay, I've been working on this plan for 3 years, and today's the day.
Okay.
Every Friday, the same Bud Light delivery guy takes the same route past us.
Okay.
You're the only one who can make the leap.
Okay.
When I say go, you jump over, grab some Bud Light, and jump back.
Okay.
Here he comes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and go.
What'd you say?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Seriously, what'd you say?
That's cold.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right.
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with breakfast anytime you want with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam.
There's a new reason to celebrate your home. Ace Hardware is opening new stores nationwide, so we're celebrating with a national grand opening sale in your neighborhood with great deals and helpful advice.
Buy a Weber Smoky Joe grill for just $39.99 and get a $20 rebate. Ace Royal Paint. Buy 2 gallons and get the price of 1 gallon back by rebate. Plus 20 great items are eligible for a full retail cost rebate. Use your Ace Rewards card for double points at the grand opening sale this Friday and Saturday only.
Ace.
The helpful place.
They've spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American
Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first Idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Our next Cubs broadcast here on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, will be Friday afternoon from right here in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Big weekend series. The Cubs host the NL Central leading Brewers to begin a 3-game series. The Cubs only play the Brewers 6 more times this year, so it's imperative to win this upcoming set. 21-year-old right-hander Giovanni Gallardo against left-hander Rich Hill. 1 o'clock Central Time with the award-winning leadoff man show. Our 60th year of bringing you Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Baseball like it ought to be. Once again, the final today as the Cubs win their 6th in a row. Cubs 6, Rockies 4. So for Bob Brenly, Pete Thomas, Skip Ellison, Mark Brady, Bob Vorwald, and our entire crew, this is Len Casper now inviting you to stay tuned. The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is coming at you next.
Ball. Brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it. Your Chicagoland Dodge dealers. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
Because Geico sounds like gecko. That's it. That's the only reason I'm here. The fact is, if Geico sounded like some other animal, like, I don't know, a puma, sure enough, there'd be some adorable little cat sitting here talking about Geico's low rates.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You can't even imagine the pressure. I mean, I've literally got like 2 seconds to capture your attention while simultaneously informing you that you could save hundreds on car insurance by switching to Geico. Quite frankly, I don't think it's even possible.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When your in-home disasters become America's biggest laughter, we've got it all caught on tape. Every weeknight, you get all the hilarious moments of AFE. Even when things go extremely wrong, laughter makes it oh so right. It's the cranks, pranks, and all-out stupid maneuvers that make Monday nights a splash. Join Tom Bergeron as he brings you the ultimate in reality television.
Common sense is the enemy of comedy. My new motto, stop thinking, start taping.
It's a knockdown, flipped around good time. So when life gets a little crazy, remember to take some time to laugh. America's Funniest Home Videos. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN. It's great to be home. Becker, late nights on Superstation WGN.
This is the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show, brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevrolet dealers.
The Cubs are red hot. 6-4. They beat the Rockies today. Only 6 hits, but the Cubs come up big once again. A couple of home runs, a 3-run shot by DeRosa in the 3rd. Fontenot went deep in the 4th. And Carlos Zambrano now 4-1 over his last 5 starts with a very low earned run average. Carlos Marmol coming in to lock it down in the 9th. Saw a lot of good things once again today. And Bob, just keep it rolling. And actually, sometimes you say you don't want an off day when you're playing well, but for the bullpen's sake, the Cubs need that day.
I think you're absolutely right. I don't think the Cubs are going to lose anything by taking the off day tomorrow. They seem to be believing in themselves right now. They got that mojo working to their advantage, and even with Ryan Dempster out, even with Aramis Ramirez out of the lineup today, it seems like it doesn't really matter right now. Whoever is asked to step in there and do something, they're coming through in a big way.
And the other thing is, with Milwaukee coming in Friday, again, the Cubs don't play the Brewers a lot the rest of the way. You want to be playing your best baseball when the first place team comes in.
Well, it seems funny to have such a big series. We're not even to the All-Star break yet, but having the Brewers come in, having the limited number of games that the Cubs have against the first-place team puts added importance on this weekend series.
And Carlos gave up the 2-run single in the 6th inning, but he hadn't allowed anything up to that point. Again, the offense gave him some cushion.
I think really the turning point for Carlos was in that first inning. Got 2 quick outs, then he walked a couple of batters. It could have gone either way at that point, but he was able to settle in, get back into the strike zone, and pitched effectively later into the ballgame.
All right, ominous skies over. Let's in. Lou Piniella talks about the happy Cubs win.
Okay. A lot of your young guys you threw right into the fire today, and they performed.
Well, Marmar wanted one more out last night, so he got a chance today. And what a job he did. The kid Petrick, it was a perfect time to use him. I mean, we needed a couple innings. And rather than bring him in with trouble, let's let him start the inning fresh. He gave us an inning and 2/3 of really nice work. And
your 2 kids.
we talked about that all spring, and truthfully, it's going to help us here during these dog days that are coming up in July and August.
Lou, how big is the series against Milwaukee?
Well, you know, it's an important series for us. We're playing well. We've got some nice momentum going. You know, we're getting ourselves close to the 500 mark. We would like to finish this homestand off in good fashion. Milwaukee's got a fine club, so it's a nice challenge for us.
You know, it's a different feeling with winning this rock and the bench and the clubhouse.
Well, winning is it's like a massage. It's a relaxer. It relaxes you, and you know, you start playing with more confidence that you can win these games, and everybody. You know, we utilize everybody here. Everybody plays. It's not like nobody's excluded. I mean, we utilize the whole roster. So, you know, it's a nice situation right now. And what we need to do is keep this thing going. And we got to work hard here over these next 10 games prior to the break. It's an important stretch of baseball for us, starting here with the 3 games against Milwaukee.
You just addressed it. We've got to talk about Zambrano's performance.
How about that? Carlos, you know, he really battled today. He's had 3 or 4 starts where he's thrown a lot of pitches, and we wanted to really shorten him up today. And today it was hot out there, and after he got out of that 6th inning, that was enough. But boy, I'll tell you what, he's pitching winning baseball right now, and you know, well, quietly, he's got himself 9 wins.
Think he can make the All-Star team?
I don't see any reason why he shouldn't. He's going to get 2 more starts here before the break, and there's no reason why he can't be on that team.
That's Lou Piniella. By the way, did we mention it was going to rain at some point? It is really coming down. We'll check out all the highlights of this big Cubs win when we come back.
Now it's easy to sell your home fast with the No Commission Company. For salebyowner.com.
We sold our home in 3 weeks.
I had no idea it could be that easy. It really was.
We've helped thousands of people save millions of dollars. We give you lawn signs and a step-by-step guide. We even have advisors on call to answer any questions. Visit forsalebyowner.com now at forsalebyowner.com. Forsalebyowner.com. No commission, lots of help.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood Aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Just because I'm a foster kid doesn't mean I'm a lost cause.
I have the potential for greatness.
Some people have an attitude about me because my parents have problems.
I wish you could see me for who I am.
Don't be afraid of me.
And don't feel bad for me.
Just care what happens to us.
Dame una oportunidad.
If you can't be a foster parent, find another way to help foster children thrive.
Do something to help me make it.
Help make foster care better.
Just do something.
Don't write me off.
Don't write me off. Don't write me off.
Foster kids are our kids. This message brought to you by WGN TV and the Illinois Foster Care Agency in your community.
That's appropriate. George Thorogood, the warning tracks. Very wet. It's raining hard. Similar to yesterday afternoon, although I still don't think it's raining as hard as it did in the mid-afternoon. But that's the way it goes here with the Cubs. Didn't start raining until after the Cubs' 6-4 win. Let's check out the highlights. Cubs scoring early once again in the 2nd inning. Mark DeRosa with a leadoff double off the starter Jason Hirsch. 2 batters later, an RBI single by Ryan Terrio into center. That made it 1-0. Then in the 3rd inning, it was Mark DeRosa again. Starts in right, 2nd, and 3rd base. The versatile super utility guy with a 3-run shot. And just like that, it was 4-0, and the Culver's sweet defensive plays belonging to Mark DeRosa. His topper off the plate, barehanded stop, and gets Tulowitzki. 4th inning now, Mike Fontenot crushes it. Back of the bleachers and right, the ball carries back from the concourse. Nice play by the youngster out there. His 3rd home run of the year. One of his 3 hits, a single, a home run, and a double. In the 6th inning, the Rockies getting on the board with Brad Hopp's 2-run single off Carlos Zambrano. That made it 5-2. But Carlos today with a quality start. 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks. He struck out 8 on the day. 107 pitches, gets his 9th win. Now 2-4 in his career against the Rockies. The bullpen today, Billy Petrick from Morris, Illinois. In his major league debut, 1st inning, he pitched was his 7th. Catches Taveras, the pinch hitter, looking. A swing and a miss by Sullivan. Petrick would give up a 2-run homer in the 8th, but Carlos Marmol in the 9th goes 1-2-3. And the final out after 2 straight strikeouts. Ryan Spilborghs rolls it to second base. No problem for Fontenot. Marmol with his 1st career save, and the Cubs win. 6-4 the final. 6 in a row. Off day tomorrow. Big set this weekend. We'll have a final word after this.
The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
What are you doing?
Should we pick him up? He has Bud Light.
He has an axe.
But he has Bud Light.
And an axe.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. Hey, buddy. What's with the axe?
It's a bottle opener.
Hop in.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Look, there's Bud Light.
And a chainsaw.
That's cold.
TV Guide gives it 3 stars.
Don't tell somebody else you're gonna string me up. Tell me.
A powerful story of a proud, uncompromising man. A memorable tribute. A moving, enlightening portrait of a forgotten hero. A powerhouse performance by James Earl Jones.
Hey, boy. Colored section's 1 row back. Colored section starts right here.
The Vernon John story.
Saturday at 3 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
You figured, oh, here's a loser, you know, a deadbeat.
Well, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
You cannot drag this negative energy into the tournament.
Jeffrey,
On.
love me.
That's my robe.
I'm throwing rocks tonight.
It don't matter to Jesus.
Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WGN.
The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show has been brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
It looks a little bit like yesterday. But that scene yesterday was before the ball game. The grounds crew got it ready, and we played last night without incident. And today, now the Birds on the field near the tarp. The Cubs sweeping the Rockies. So they have won their 6th in a row. First time they've won that many consecutively since late May, early June of 2005. And the Cubs now sweeping consecutive series for the first time since late April of 2004. And a big set coming up this weekend. Milwaukee comes in. We'll have games 1 and 3. Friday, Giovanni Gallardo, their top prospect. He's a right-hander. Left-hander Rich Hill will go for the Cubs, looking for his 6th win. On Saturday, it's Ben Sheets and Sean Marshall. On Sunday, Jason Marquis for the Cubs. Probably be either Dave Bush or Claudio Vargas for Milwaukee. The Brewers, by the way, just won, I think, a big home run in the bottom of the 11th. 6-3 the final score as they beat Houston. So the Cubs 7.5 out going into that series. 6 in a row. We'll see you then right here on WGN.